Hello, everybody. Duke here. I'm ready to go. I don't know where Stu is. I mean, he's on Skype. And yeah, I don't know. We're here. We're ready to go. There's some stuff. I'm going to talk because it's my responsibility to talk. And if Stu wants to join me at some point, great. Chinny's not around, but I think we have a guest host. In the meantime, I'm just going to talk. Because, yeah, that's alright, Duchess. What's the problem? Yeah, you're going to hear me some more. And I'm getting some show stuff ready. I don't know what that song has to do with anything. Yeah, okay. Ba-da ba-da ba-bam ba-dum. Uh, uh, uh. Getting stuff ready to go. Doing things ready, you know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Singing on the stream because I don't know what else to do. You're welcome, everybody. Yeah, I'm doing this on my Mac, so I can't really stream games because I don't have any games. Yeah. And we're doing stuff. Going on. Stomping with the stuff with the things. And there's lots of stuff to do. Because we want to come live to you. And there's a call happening now.
Yeah, that you just got me just for 1 second there. I thought he was here already.
And we're ready to go somehow.
And now he is here. Here he is, look.
Hey, how about that? Let the Duchess co-host instead. Ooh.
Ooh.
Diesel Saint said that the Duchess should co-host instead. How about that?
There you go. Forget Stu.
Yeah. Forget Stu. That's right. That's what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, Chinny's outside your window. It's possible. It is possible. He could be there right now and you just don't even know it.
We know that he's not.
Isn't he in America?
He is, but he's not anywhere near me. The West Coast. Oh, the Duchess.
Let's give the people what they want.
Yeah, they want the Duchess.
Oh, yeah.
The Duchess.
Thank you. Yeah.
I've actually had physical touching with the Duchess, I have to say.
Very jealous.
No, you're not going to say it like that. You're going to say, I've met the Duchess in person.
It was very nice. She did very nice touching.
He said, I've had physical touching with the Duchess. You got problems, Stuart.
And it was very nice.
Anyway, are we ready to start?
I think so. I don't know.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Chinny, other fellas will tell you about.
Can we cut the condescending crap and play the game?
News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Your lips look like crispy big on the face.
It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Welcome to the flower shop.
Yeah, boy.
I like the beats and shouting.
Switch that console off before you have to. Noise! Yo. Noise!
And listen, I don't have time to play with the phone here. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done.
Hello and welcome to episode 452 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay! Show 452 coming live at you. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chris.
Chris. Chris who?
Chris MJW. Chris
Yay!
Williams.
Welcome, Chris.
I've got to
Williams.
say, by the way, that was way more professional than Chinny ever is.
I'm on it. That's all you're getting tonight. The rest
No,
of
but
it's
see,
gonna be all
that's Chinny's
shit show.
brand is the oblivious. I refuse to play along. Chris isn't like that. Chris's brand is more playful, but on the ball and happy to cooperate.
I'm a team player.
Camping, no doubt.
So how
I
you
have
doing,
been
Chris?
Camping. Yeah, I have been camping.
Let me ask you, look, Chris, before we get going, right, I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
Nope, we're already going.
My
Too late.
favorite time.
Shut up.
Just kidding.
Here we go.
Okay.
How many times have you been camping this year so far?
How am I supposed to know that? A lot.
You see, I'm just
Wow, I have a
wondering,
good way. I have a good reason to play this sound clip now.
How do you know?
How
How
do
do
you
you
know?
How many times you've been camping? Is it more than 10? Would you say, Chris?
Yeah,
I'd
more
say
than
it's
10.
probably more than 10. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow, that was a lot of camping.
You're a
don't know,
beast.
but it's kind of cheating last time because last weekend we actually just camped in the garden. So
What?
It's not really. It's not really camping. We had
Why?
some friends over. They brought their kids, and the kids wanted to camp, so they camped in the garden. So I slept in a tent in the garden, in my own garden.
Wow,
Uh-huh.
that is
We got a fire
serious.
pit down. We got a fire pit down the far end, so just sort of chilled out for the evening. It's nice.
Just
Nice.
chilled out with a fire pit, smell the smoke, toasted marshmallows.
All that
Wow.
good stuff.
Yeah, wow.
Jiffy
Gee.
Pop. You guys have Jiffy Pop?
What the hell's a Jiffy Pop?
Yeah,
you
popcorn.
just have Jiffy Pop.
Everyone's. Who doesn't have Jiffy Pop?
What the hell's a Jiffy Pop?
What's Jiffy Pop?
Dude, you can't be
Dude.
told what Jiffy Pop is. You have to see it for yourself. That's
What do
how
you
it
mean you
works.
can't be?
Spoiler siren. I'm not telling you. I
Jesus.
just,
Well,
Well, I have to do the stream and this, so I'll do the spoilers.
Warning!
But I had to put up a good video for camping. Go ahead.
If you don't want spoilers for Jiffy Pop, listen.
Well, wait a minute. In what world does that
turn it down
make
for 2
sense? You're
minutes.
in the store, you're like, oh, look, it's Jiffy Pop. Wait, what is it? I don't know. Don't tell me. It's just a red box with the word Jiffy Pop on the front.
Dude,
Wait. Before you tell Chris, maybe we should do like a 20 questions type thing to see if Stu can guess what Jiffy Pop is.
I've already told him.
Oh.
Wow.
I've broken
Yeah, I think
it.
you just mentioned the word popcorn or something.
Hey, all right. You got it right.
What?
So is this? Let me just check this out, right? So I'm guessing it's popcorn in a box that you stick on a fire and then it makes popcorn.
Well, one of you can possibly get it up on a YouTube feed to see exactly how it works.
Is it
Probably
the
Stu.
thing? Is it the thing off Scream?
It is the
Scream.
thing off Scream that gradually gets bigger and bigger and turns into a big UFO.
Yeah, and then someone stabs you in the middle of your back until you're dead.
That's never happened. I think that's bad advertising.
It's that what happens? You get killed by some stalker stroke slasher in your own back garden while you're camping.
Maybe next time. I don't know.
Is it slay away camp in your garden?
Kind of like that. Look.
Oh my god! So though I'm still trying to get my head around the amount of times you go camping in like a single year. It's just ridiculous.
It's not always camping. I mean, when I accidentally missed out on seeing Duke, which is probably a low point of my life.
Yeah, it was. You loser.
I know, that was awful. I was
It's
away
okay.
on
We
holiday,
forgive
but I
you.
wasn't camping. I was cheating. I was in like a caravan type thing. So
Yeah.
In a caravan, it's still kind of camping, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
let's be honest. So, can I ask you, where was this caravan thing?
it was down in the New Forest. Thanks for asking.
Hell, that's only like a 2.5 hour drive. You fucking split
Well, I know,
it,
but
so-
I was. I
Yeah, but he spent 2.5 hours going to
and
camping.
drive back up on the Sunday
Yeah.
to bloody Manchester, and then back down to bloody South Coast again.
So you
That's
know
like
commitment.
Antonio
No
is what I'm
commitment
talking
you
about.
haven't.
Yeah, but fuck you.
If I could just say, this video I've got going is the greatest video I've ever seen. Because as a dude, it's just the same thing.
Nothing's happening. When does something
No,
happen?
that's
This
why
is
it's
how long
great.
it
'Cause
takes.
it's just a stick and a fire and a Jiffy Pop.
You got to keep shaking the Jiffy Pop, otherwise it burns.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
idiot.
trick.
But how long does it take? Nothing's happening.
20
it's
minutes.
Like taking forever. Do you know what you can do, right? You can
It's
go
not
to this
that
thing called
jiffy.
Yeah, you go to a supermarket, right, and you buy this bag called popcorn, which
That's
takes
no fun.
literally no time and costs about £1.
You should see the way that children's eyes light up when this. I mean, they see the way adults' eyes light up.
It
when
doesn't
it
taste the
hits
same,
fan.
Stu. Jiffy Pop is an experience.
Tastes like wood smoke.
If
No,
you do
It
it
does
wrong,
if you burn
yeah.
it. It goes wrong if you burn it. But then
Yeah.
you open, you
Oh,
cut
I
the
can
top
see it's
open.
going now. Wow,
steam
that
comes
is
out.
impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like one of those things that women put on their heads when they have their hair permed.
It sort of rotates. Yeah, it's kind of like a tinfoil hat sort of thing situation. Yeah, like
Jesus Christ almighty, I've seen it all now. No, I think I'll just stick to a bag. It's so much easier. Good God.
so, yeah,
See
that's
if
what
I can
I've been
get the
doing.
sound clip right, because this is really going well with this particular thing here. Oh, wait, where is it? Come on, jump ahead. I'm asking the computer to do 70 things.
And
Ah,
I'll be honest, it's like birds making laughter.
there you go.
That is my tune.
Nailed
That
it.
is my
I've
jam.
got to be honest,
That is my
the
jam.
kid on here does not look as excited as you're describing.
All right, we did make one kid cry. She didn't know what was going to
Oh, it's
happen.
actually
She just
full,
She
like,
just-
red
she
hot
burst into tears
popcorn.
and ran away because she was too scared of it.
Jesus Christ. You were
Grab
scared
the
of it.
steaming food. No,
Jesus
make
Christ.
it go away.
So let me ask you, in between camping and Jiffy Pops, have you had actual time to play any games then?
That's what the Switch is for. But no, I still haven't.
Aw,
I've not
snap.
played anything.
What the
Like, in
hell is
last 2
this?
weeks, I've
Some
hardly
dude's
played
putting
anything.
Starburst on his campfire. Holy cripes.
What is he doing that for?
I
They'd
don't
be
know.
like molten.
This guy's twisted.
Burn the roof of your mouth off.
I know, right?
Let's putting three together.
What a weirdo. I'm sorry,
okay.
Chris, you were saying.
Jesus Christ almighty. I was actually asking, Chris, I'll tell you what, Chinny's away for like an hour and it's all gone to shit already and it's only been like 10 minutes into oh my God, who would eat that? That's just that is like burning your mouth off waiting to happen, isn't it?
I don't know.
The other problem we might have
Might
is
be
we might
delicious.
actually have military veterans listening to all of this because
Oh, that's right. We are not military veterans, and we stream every week at Sunday, whatever, something.
And that's 10 minutes of their life those military veterans aren't getting
Twitch.
back.
Yeah.
Although they have learned a
Some-
lot about
some-
Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, Jiffy
And,
Pop, I know
and how
what
to
one is now.
roast
Well,
Starburst on an open campfire.
I knew what a Jiffy Pop was, but I just didn't know what it was called.
We don't do s'mores here. That's the thing we've never really got into.
Dude, that's
We
the
do a lot of
that's the only
marshmallows, but-
reason to
What the
go
hell's
camping.
a s'mores? Now, fucking hell, it's like talking in a foreign language.
Okay, if you don't know s'mores,
You're talking
you're
camping,
an
man.
idiot.
Fucking hell, you just like...
All right, Stu, how about this? Do you like graham
Oh.
crackers?
They're like, what?
Do you like graham crackers?
I don't even know what that is.
Don't have those.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Hey, look,
All right,
just
fine. Never
because
mind. We'll
you
move to
like
the next
McDonald's-
ingredient.
Alright,
Fine.
something like
How
that.
about this?
Like
No,
pig.
shut up. Do you like a sweet cracker?
Like a malted milk or something.
There
like a
you
biscuit,
go.
pretty
Let's
much.
go
All
with
right,
that.
okay, I get you. Yes,
you like
I've had
that?
one of
Just say
those,
yes. Okay. Do you like chocolate? Milk chocolate?
I guess.
Oh, you guess. What a miserable jerk you are. I guess I like
Do
chocolate.
you know, I'm not a massive chocolate
Oh,
fan,
you're
to
an
be
idiot.
honest.
Do you like marshmallows?
I do like marshmallows.
Okay, well
yeah.
put all them together and you got a s'more. Oh, it's so good.
So is it just a chocolate-coated marshmallow? Is that what you're
No.
saying?
No, you make
No.
it into a sandwich.
You
like
roast
like,
the marshmallow until it's perfect and yellow and golden, and then you put it in between two pieces of chocolate that are in between two graham crackers. And you sandwich it together, and it's gooey and it's delicious.
and it
Good
goes
God,
everywhere.
it's no wonder Americans need two seats to sit on, is it?
Oh, whatever. Deep frying Snickers bars. I don't want to hear it. With
Look,
your
I've
mushy
got a great-
peas
I've
ass
I've got a
and your
great
fried
camping story
fish
from last
everywhere.
weekend.
Go on, then.
Got
What
a great
happened
camping
last
story.
weekend when you were camping?
Well, it wasn't we went camping actually. We were down the end of my garden. My parents came for a barbecue, and we had marshmallows over the fire pit. And you get those giant marshmallows that are ridiculous in size. I don't know if you've seen those.
I've
Those
seen
are
some
awesome.
of those.
Those are so cool. But my mum did one over the fire, and then they have a tendency just to go everywhere, and he just that scene like in Ghostbusters when he gets all the slime in his hands and he's like trying to get it off, and he's like flicking it to try and get the slime off.
Yeah.
She's doing that with her hands. And my mum, we were all a bit pissed, and I was like, this is gonna be funny. Oh no, I've dropped my key. I've lost my key. Like amongst all of the dirt and all the shit down the bottom of the garden. And I had to see if my mum would do it, and she's got on her hands and knees, and then I didn't mean for you to fall for it, and she got up and just had loads of crap all stuck to her hands. It's hilarious.
Oh God.
Nice.
So I'm getting it. So she had gooey fingers, and you pretended to get her to look in the dirt for you.
Did yes, somehow.
You're a wanker.
The family togetherness.
Yeah. How old's your mum, by the way?
I'm not telling you. I don't even know.
Look at
that's
my
why.
stupid
You
mom
don't
with
even
the
know.
crap all
I'm just
over
going
her
to say,
hands.
he just wants to pick on old people, does he? You know, like he's been senile and stuff. He's like, oh, get your hands in this dirt with your sticky fingers, you'll have loads of
I'm a
fun.
very young guy.
My
She's young.
favorite time. It's story time.
Well, we just had a story time, so that was fun.
I've got a
Yeah.
story.
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
I guess it's not. Go ahead, Stu. What do you got?
I watched Chinny get married, of course.
Oh my
week.
God!
Hey!
Yeah, to the
That's
lovely,
amazing.
to the
Amazing
lovely Tahara. Yeah.
Well,
it
tell
was
us.
I saw some of the photos. They look
good.
great.
Yeah, it was a good day. I've got to say, lovely venue, lovely day, very hot. It was a nice day. It was blue skies, sunny weather. It really couldn't have been better. Nothing major happened though. There was no major like thing. You know, like usually at a wedding, you're waiting for something to go wrong or something to happen.
Yeah, like in these
And it
bloopers that we
didn't.
got.
Yeah.
I saw,
none
the,
of-
I
there
saw
were
the
none of
picture of
this
him doing
stuff.
his speech. I imagine Chinny's speech was probably the best speech ever given at a wedding because, you know, that's what he does.
It was very funny, but being Chinny, it was a little bit edgy. It was a little bit edgy there, you know. I'm not going to obviously recite some of the stuff he said, but yeah. It was very funny though. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, excellent in fact. So yeah, the whole day was, Marsh was great. His speech was really good as well. And Tara's mum did a Mother of the Bride speech, which was different. Which was different, but yeah, that was really good as well. So yeah, the whole day was really good.
You know,
So
the
we had
best
lots
thing
of
about
fun.
this video of wedding bloopers that I found is that in between each of the clips, for no reason, they have the goddamn minions chortling on screen. That makes any
Yeah.
compilation better.
It does. It makes it funnier already.
No.
But yes, it was a very good day. There was a good day had by all. There was good food, good music, lots of dancing. Yeah, and I had a special present made for Ginny. Did you see my
That's
special
right.
present?
Those are the mugs.
Yeah, you didn't even know about these. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew.
That's the biggest surprise of the year, your mugs.
No, yeah. Yeah, it pales into comparison somehow. But,
Nuh-uh.
yes, I've been very secretly liaising with Jamie, his artist stroke animator from his company. And, yeah, he did some artwork and we got some mugs made up. And, yeah, they're the Grand Theft Auto themed, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, and instead of that, we had Grand Times Ahead. You see, a bit Lancashire, so it kind of worked. And done in the obviously in the style of the GTA logo on the back of the mug, and then Chinny with a baseball bat, of course. Why not? And yeah, and Tara on a drone robbing a bank. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, I had those money. He was very pleased with those. And yeah, like I say, I had a fun day, and it was really good. I don't know what else to say about it. Really, it was a wedding. He got married and stuff, and he had his drone. He's one of his employees, Tom, was filming everything and had his drone going here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, that was kind of fun as well. So there you go. Chinny's a married man now. So when he comes back, he's married and stuff. So there you go.
That's crazy.
Right, let's move on. Go on. Sorry, say again.
I was just going to say he did look very thin. I've not seen him since he'd lost all that weight. He looked great.
Yes, he did.
He looked dapper.
He definitely trimmed down for the wedding. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on because we've got stuff to do and games to talk about, hopefully.
I must say, I found this collection of wedding bloopers from 2018. Why is it 4:3 resolution? Why is it not 16:9? It's 2018. Who the hell is filming things in 4:3?
Nobody, because these are all from 1992.
I guess so.
Yeah. Anyway, that's still not video games.
It's a video game of wedding fails.
Now, before we actually start talking about what we've been playing, I just want to ask both of you, because obviously silly time is approaching fast.
Yeah.
Where lots of new games are coming out, etc.
Oh yeah.
What are we buying? So, yeah, over to you first, Chris. What's upcoming on your radar?
What you been buying? Well, I've just finally got God of War, and I haven't played it yet because I'm trying to finish off other stuff first before I get to it. But Spider-Man is definitely there. That's like there's so much stuff that's come out over the last few weeks that I've been careful not to buy, and there's lots coming up. Obviously, Red Dead and whatnot. But Spider-Man's, I think reviews are up on Tuesday. That is looking pretty sweet, and I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah, it is out this week. I haven't pre-ordered yet because I've still got loads of stuff to finish as well. So I'm trying not to buy any new games at the moment because I really do need to finish God of War because I'm quite a way through that and just got distracted. I just didn't have time because I've been doing so much shit in my garden, man. I just have no time to play games at the moment, which is
same here.
A bit of a nightmare, really. But hopefully things are nearly done and stuff's been done. So hopefully I'll be able to get some video games done. I think.
Yeah.
Eventually. But yeah, it's been a bit of a
I'm in the
nightmare.
same situation. I've been doing lots of gardening because we moved into our new house a couple of months ago, and it's a massive garden. It takes a lot of time.
I
as
ain't
you
been
know.
gardening shit, but the Duchess
It's a
has.
little bit, yeah. Yeah, I've had a sledgehammer and a mattock. I've been taking up a concrete slab
She
today.
harvested
and
2 pumpkins.
No time to do gaming when you've got all that shit to do.
Yeah, it's the problem, isn't it? It is a problem. And also, because the weather's been so great, you just don't really want to sit inside and play games, do you? It's sort of like,
All right, I have a
I
question.
do, but I just don't because you feel bad about it.
I have a question. What games that are coming up do people look interested in buying? Wait, before we get to that, let me talk about gardening a whole bunch.
I know, yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, so Spider-Man, yeah, I'm interested in Spider-Man, but I'm gonna wait, see what the reviews say before I commit to buy. But I've been trying to pick up, Detroit Become Human cheap so I can play it and make all the bad choices, but it still isn't cheap. It's like,
yeah, I want to play that too, and that's the thing. I think you're on the same lines as me now, Stu. Is that I was always just buying new games when they came out, and then they just sit on the shelf, and then by the time I get around to playing them, they're probably like 15 quid cheaper to buy. So I may as well just not buy everything straight away and just
Never
get to
buy
it
a
when I get
game
to
until you're ready to play it.
Yeah. Because, like, Detroit, I've been looking around today, it's still like 35 quid is the
Oh my
cheapest I
god,
can
that's
find.
insane.
It is. It's like,
Costs
I
$70
want to play
million
that game
to
just
make, but I'm not paying 35 quid for it.
take the piss out of it, but I can't do that for 35 quid.
I would pay 35 quid to see Duke play it.
Oh, yeah, that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
First, I would need a PS4.
That is true. That is true. And secondly, you need to like David Cage games. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. I wouldn't need to like them. I could play it ironically.
You could. I think you should definitely do that at some point.
I've been thinking about it because there's, if it's going to be a console, it's going to be a PS4 because Horizon Zero Dawn, Last Guardian, I think those are the only exclusives I care about.
Yeah.
But
You're not bothered about God of War?
I'll play it, but I want to play Shadow of War first. What?
Uncharted? Well,
anyway,
I guess that's a no.
Moving on. Any other games you want to buy?
Yeah, anything else you're interested in?
I don't know. I've forgotten.
The games
Yeah,
I want
Red
to buy
Dead 2.
are...
Red Dead 2
also-
you said, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Dead.
Yeah.
And Guacamelee 2's just come out. I'd play that. I don't know. I'm enjoying a lot of the indie games that come into Switch now. It's become the new Vita, so that's where I'm looking, and all the great new stuff that's coming out to that. And there's too many of them.
So are you looking forward to the Res section again this year at EGX?
No, not really. I mean, I'm only coming for one day this week. This time
what?
around. I'm only coming for the Saturday. I'm coming for the Friday night for the beers and whatever's going on there,
okay.
and then the Saturday during the day. So I don't know. I don't know. Just like 3 days always seems way too much, and I don't know.
Especially when you're spending it with Stu and Chinny.
I know, to be honest, I may get a Sunday ticket if I'm enjoying myself so much on the Saturday. But yeah, I figure that's where all the fun's at. That's where everyone's there, and it's all good.
Yeah,
Are you going to the MLGX party afterwards, of course?
I haven't got a ticket yet. I forgot about it.
No, I need to get a
You got a
ticket,
ticket?
actually. Yeah, I did tell Chinny I was going to buy him one as well, but I haven't even bought one for me yet, let alone one for
It's going to
him.
be all
I don't
sold
think
out.
they'll sell.
Well, Chinny,
They're
we
not
can go
gonna
look
sell
through
it.
the window.
Yeah, by the way, Chinny, that ticket I said I got you. I didn't quite make it.
There's not enough fat old people in the whole of the country to fill that place, so we should be okay.
Yeah, I reckon we'll be all right. There's always room. There'll always be room.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of a sing-song. It's always good fun having a sing, actually.
You got a little
So
whistle
anyway,
here.
get video games. We should talk about video games, shouldn't we?
Right.
So,
who wants to go
Chris,
first?
give us something, man. What have you been playing? What have you been up to?
I have been playing Nier Automata.
Oh.
All right, okay.
Yeah, you must have started that, right, Stu?
I have, yes. I'm a
Did
fair
you
way
fall
in.
off the wagon on it?
You know what I'm like. Stuff
Yeah,
happens. Get
I'm the
distracted very
same.
easily.
Yeah. This game's kind of weird for me. I figured just looking at what it was all about, and it's really interesting and weird and Japanese and cool, which I kind of like. as you did too. And I didn't really know what to expect from some of it, but I don't know. I'm not liking it as much as I thought I would, and that's the problem. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh man, yeah, you got to play it." You know, it's the third playthrough you want to get to. That's when it gets really good.
Third playthrough, holy Christ!
Well, it does this weird thing where you play at the very start of the game. You know, you play a bit, and then when you die, it's like, oh, that's the end of the game or whatever. And it does all these cool things, and there's lots of different endings to the game, and depending on what you do. But I'm sort of at the end of the main playthrough. I think I'm 20 hours into it now. I may have left the console on at some point. Who knows?
Wow, you're way further in than I am.
Yeah, I had a bit of a stint on it last weekend, I think. So I played about 5 or 6 hours then last weekend, and it was good. I do enjoy it to a certain extent, but all of it isn't quite as good as you expect. Like the combat isn't as tight or as you know, it's a platinum game. You expect it to be absolutely on point, and a lot of it is. But I don't know. It doesn't feel quite right. The enemies
doesn't
and stuff
feel like Bayonetta. That's what you say.
No, it doesn't. Well, no. I mean, I don't.
In
like
good
Bayonetta,
ways and bad.
Combat Bayonetta is very good, but yeah, and I don't. The enemies aren't particularly interesting. All the graphics look like a PS3 game to me, which isn't a problem. It's they've kind of got that sort of Last Guardian sort of thing going on, vibe to the graphics, which makes it look quite nice.
To be honest, I didn't really
Japanese
mind the art style. I thought that was all
No,
right.
it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But you just think like there's not a lot of detail in a lot of this, and that's fine. But I don't know. It's not grabbing me, and like there's a lot to it. All the menus and stuff are really weird, and it feels clunky and awkward and weird. And it feels like you've got to play that game a hell of a lot to be able to upgrade anything and get anything cool. And you've got to do, from what Rob tells me, you've got to do a lot of side quests and stuff to get all that cool stuff. Which, if you're not enjoying the game, I don't want to spend an extra 10 hours going off and doing side quests just to get something cool to make the game fun to play. I just want to mainline it, get it finished, and play God of War for God's sake.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I'm at now. And I think I think I was probably towards the end, but there was almost like a boss rush bit. I think somewhere near the end. But I didn't really realize that was going to happen, and I didn't. You have a lot of, you burn through a lot of like consumables and stuff, and energy and shit. And I basically I think got to the last boss and didn't have anything to heal myself with, and because I hadn't gone to save for like an hour, it's got a weird save system where you have to.
Yeah, it's got like saving stations. I mean, that you have to unlock.
Yeah.
First.
And I hadn't been to one of those for about an hour and a half because I'd just been going from point to point, thinking that's. I was following the story, but I hadn't gone to save, and I was like, "Oh man!" And then it happens sometimes in games. It does with me. You get stuck on a boss, and like, well, I could, go back and play all that again, or I could just keep smashing my head against a brick wall for an hour, and then still not do it, which is what I basically did. So I don't think there was any way I could physically have finished the game with no healing items on the final boss, because I tried it, and that was just basically. Wow. So yeah, I just need to go back and play that hour and a half again, whatever I hadn't saved. But it's just hard. It's hard, not to straight away go and do that the following day. It's like, I don't really want to.
I didn't enjoy this hour and a half the first time. I don't really want to do it.
Yeah,
again
yeah,
now.
exactly that. But I don't want to. There's so many games I've just dropped on their ass and just moved on and skipped and I've not finished. And I kind of feel like I should finish this when everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, it's got a great story. The ending's got these twists and stuff." And I'm intrigued, but not as much as I expected to be. So I don't know. I'm sort of tepid on it at the moment. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes it's just a bit like, just get on with it. But anyway, yes, that game.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm sort of in agreement with you. Really, I like the combat and I like the way it does all these different styles. That it sort of switches styles all the time.
Yeah.
Depending on the perspective and what part of the levels you're in. So I really kind of like all of that sort of stuff, but I don't know whether it just didn't grab me. It felt a bit sort of boring, really. I was a bit bored.
I was bored.
Needs more naked hair suits.
It sort of pains me to say that with a platinum game, because I love these guys.
Yeah, and also this should really be right up our street. It's basically made for people like us that like weird Japanese shit with Bayonetta style combat and all sorts of bullshit stories. Yeah. So, well.
Oh,
I,
It's
I,
no-
I, I
it's
made
no
I made
Metal-
talk saying it's amazing. Well, no, it's no Metal Gear. No,
It's no Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which is probably one of their best games. I love
it
that
does
game.
remind me of that in a lot of ways, though. There's quite a lot of things that remind me of Metal Gear in it. Like there's how polished and a lot of the graphic design and stuff, like all the sort of industrial sections and stuff, reminded me a lot of Metal Gear 2. And there's some of the sound effects, like the person that comes over the radio, the sort of bleep bleep sort of
Yeah.
things, Metal Gear style. But it's nowhere near as good as Metal Gear 5 was. You know,
No.
just not
No.
there.
But, like I say, I do like Platinum, and obviously Bayonetta 3 will be the reason I buy a Switch, so guess that's happening.
Yeah.
You know?
Chris, are you going to be
That's
getting Bayonetta 3 for your Switch?
No. Thought Bayonetta 2 was shit.
Yeah, you didn't like, you're
Awesome.
not a Bayonetta person, are you, really?
No, well, no, I don't know. It's not like Duke doesn't like it because of the style and everything. But I don't mind all that stuff. It's just the fact that the game seemed really linear and really button mashy. Like it was just keep mashing buttons like hundreds and hundreds of times to kill things. I'm done. I got about halfway through it and I was like, this is boring. So I'm bored now.
Sacrilege.
I know. But not everyone has to like everything.
Was that a cue? Am I
Bored.
supposed to play this?
This is boring. I'm bored now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I
Happy.
guess. Yeah, so Duke, what have you been playing then?
So I've been playing Rocket League, and wait, come back. There's a new system of progression in Rocket League. They got a new XP system.
You switch it off straight away?
Ah! Rocket League new XP system. Let's pull up a video here so I can talk about it. Yeah, here, the level up system. 1080p. It's a good thing we got a 1080p video. Turn off the goddamn annotations.
You know, he's not as slick as Chinny, is he?
Anyway, okay, so right away you can see on the stream that there's these clubs. Some games call them clans, but in Rocket League they're called clubs for whatever reason. And
Wow, is there something going on outside your house, Sergio?
Yeah,
Is
there's a
someone
cop
being
car going
arrested
by.
or something?
they shot a dude near us. Anyway, here's the thing. There's these clubs, and it's like a clan. There's nothing to really say about that. There's a new XP system, so there's no more level cap. For over a year, I was at 75, like just sitting there at level 75. And you play a game, and it made the sound of your XP going up, but it didn't actually move your XP up because there was nowhere for it to go. Now there's no more level cap. And when I got to level 100, apparently I unlocked a frame for my user picture.
Woohoo!
I know. It's amazing.
Really? Really? This is what it's come to? That you're getting
I'm trying
excited?
to think if there's
about
anything else in the
okay.
update.
Frame.
Like, you don't
Yeah.
get random stuff anymore after a
Jesus
game.
Christ.
You get it after you level up, I guess, or something. I don't really remember.
So what? Just describe this here frame. Is it even fancy, or is it just literally like a color band or something?
You can make it colored, but it's just a box around your picture. It's really
Wow.
the most
That is
meaningless
fucking
thing
shit.
ever. Yeah. It's just
Well, that's it.
ridiculous.
You've sold me after all these years of talking about it.
I know, yeah.
I can finally have a
Yeah,
frame around my
I'm
avatar.
definitely going to play it now.
Oh
Oh,
God.
that's too funny. And it's funny
Is
too
it just that
because
they've run out of stuff to do? Is it like, oh, what else can
I
we
think
give
that, no,
people?
this is a bookkeeping thing they needed to do in order to like just we had to get this done at some point. They'd like take a level cap off and give you something for getting another 50 levels. Like the most meaningless thing you could possibly give us. But I think they needed to do that, and now that they've done this, they'll get back to, I don't know, in the autumn it'll be an update with leaves coming out of the back of your car, pumpkins or some shit. The harvest update.
Wow.
So
Do you know what? I don't know what to say anymore about this game.
Wait till my
I've
next
got
game
to the-
comes up. It'll be even
Oh.
more exciting than this.
I can't wait for the
Yeah.
more exciting game than Rocket League.
So the actual good news is Antonio is going to be moving back to, I don't know if he's going to university or going to find a new job or something, but he'll be at a place with better internet, so we'll be able to have some games. Because that's the other thing is that, like, now when you win a game, if everybody on your team is in your club, then when you win, it doesn't just say winner, orange team. It'll say winner and then the name of your club. So we could potentially have it say winner, Veteran Gamers UK, because I made a Veteran Gamers UK club. But we need to have people in the club all playing together.
Yeah, well, this is the club, just you and Antonio.
No, it's just me.
The club?
I haven't got anyone else in it yet. And here's the thing. Apparently, if you want to join our club, you have to be in a party with me because I created the club, and then I can add you to the club in real life or in person, while you're there.
Wow.
So
that sounds very complicated.
Yeah, it's a little silly, I think, but I guess.
So you can't. Someone just can't send a request to be in the club. Then they have.
So far as I can tell, no.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of
very slick, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they probably have their reasons.
Yeah, stupid ones.
Whatever.
But they don't care.
Don't be talking shit about Psyonix, Mr. Platinum fanboy.
Hey, Platinum, don't you diss Platinum.
All right, go ahead, Stu. What do you got?
What I've got is The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 1. I've finished that shit.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's pretty good. It's short though. It was very short. It was probably.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it probably is, I guess. I think you'd be lucky to push more than an hour and a half. Really, I reckon it's about a 90-minute episode.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. It was tight. Stuff happened. It set up a good sort of base for the final season, I guess.
So I've got to tell me, because I don't think I played the season before. What was it? Is this the 4th season?
No, this is 5th, I think. Is it 5?
No,
Jesus,
this is. I think this is the 4th because I haven't played the 3rd.
Is it 4th?
Yeah, I don't
maybe
play the 3rd because everyone said it was
4th.
shit.
You see, I forget because it's that final season. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is the 4th.
So do I skip the 3rd one and just go to this one, or should I not bother?
The 3rd one's all right. It's all right, the 3rd one. It kind of sets up some of the stuff for this. But what's kind of funny, and I sort of explained this last week, because I didn't have a save file to go back to, even though I've obviously played all the others. But they've all been on different platforms. But the interesting thing about the final season is when it does the recap, so you can make your choices again. So it lets you sort of build your character up, and if you can remember what choices you made, it lets you do all that stuff. But none of them are from season 3, so none of the choices.
Nothing happened.
It's almost like it didn't exist.
Yeah, okay.
It's not bad. Season 3 wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad game at all.
Could have said that 2 minutes ago.
I know, yeah, it wasn't a bad game at all. But I don't know. I like grown-up Clementine. I like sort of where she's gone as a character. Something happens in this episode that's a real callback to the very first episode of the first ever one that they did,
nice.
which I thought was kind of cool, and I kind of liked it. As soon as the scene was happening, I knew what was happening, and thought, oh yeah, that's definitely a reference to something from the very first episode of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. I thought that was kind of cool. There was tension, it did a good job actually. The sort of end of this episode was pretty good. So I was quite impressed.
You ready to go to the next one now?
Yeah, definitely. I was sort of a bit like, oh, I don't know, but and I need to see this thing through because, the year that the first one came out, I'm almost sure that was my game of the year. I'm almost sure it was.
I think it was most people's.
Yeah, and it was amazing, and it was this really interesting story, and they'd done something really cool. The actual gameplay mechanics weren't the best in the world, and the graphics weren't the best in the world. But what they really did was build this really compelling world out of The Walking Dead. And
I think it was about the characters for me.
Yeah,
and the world was fine, but I think the characters, the relationships, that's what was really well done.
And in all honesty, better than The Walking Dead series.
Well, I've never seen the TV show, so I don't know. But
yeah, you're not missing.
I like being forced to make decisions, and sometimes they're difficult to decide what you're going to do, and that's quite cool. And then seeing how it all plays out, it was interesting.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of clever that they'd done something that really hadn't up to that point. And we talked about this so much on the show, and obviously a lot of people have talked about this: the lack of actual decent stories in video games.
Yep.
And it was quite refreshing to have something that had some emotional depth and impact. You know what I mean? And I think that's what made it sort of stand apart. I suppose I've got to play the final season just because I've got to see what happens, I guess, at the end of it all.
So that's the way I feel about the 3rd season and the 4th season, but I'm not driven to play them for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, for something that I loved so much, the first season, I'd really dropped off. The 2nd season was okay, and but I wasn't that interested in.
I mean,
in
I
it.
liked
And
the
then
second season. Okay, I don't know.
It was okay. That was the one that ended in the snow, right?
Yep.
In like
Yes.
a whiteout. Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know. The third one didn't get me at all. But
And obviously AJ, who's a young boy in this, was the baby at the end of season 2.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely
guess I
remember
didn't
now
realize
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the little baby. So that's who you're with in this final season. And I think what's kind of cool is that almost Clementine's become Lee.
Well, duh.
You know, that's her sort of arc, I guess. You know, she's now the protector, and AJ's kind of her when she was a little kid again.
Yep.
And I like that. I do like that. And obviously,
Good idea, but...
yeah, and obviously he's influenced by how you act towards other people and the decisions you make. He's supposedly, you know, I don't know how much this really plays into the game, but you know, he's supposedly watching what you're doing all the time, and that's what he bases his decisions on. So you're his kind of role model.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that about it. But yeah, it's pretty good. You know, they are squeezing every last ounce out of this engine because
hadn't they gone to a new engine for this season?
No, I thought they had, but I was wrong. No, this is still the old engine. This is still, but they've not done too bad with it, to be honest.
It doesn't pause for like 5 seconds between each scene.
It does a little bit. It still does that. Yeah, you still get that little sort of loading, you know, swirly thing while it's coming on, but it's not. They're not terribly long. You know, you're probably talking about 5-10 seconds between stuff. So you know, it's not crazy bad. But they're moving to Unity apparently, so that's where they're going. They're going to use the Unity engine for the new stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Well, they're all coming to Switch. I mean, I might pick up seasons 3 and 4 on Switch at some point because that's just more. I'm more likely to play it that way because it's just more convenient.
Yeah, season 3 was fine. You know, it wasn't terrible. There was nothing wrong with it. It just kind of felt a bit like a filler. You know, like kind of a link between season 2 and the final.
Actually, I think I started it. I started it and didn't bother playing the rest of it. That's what happened. Okay. Well, it sounds more interesting than the 4th one does anyway. So that's good.
Yeah, no, like I say, I'm liking the sort of way that this could go. You know, the big question is, I guess, is Clementine going to bite the dust at the end of this, or is she going to survive? Who knows?
Oh, darling, don't know.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing.
See.
I guess we will. Have you any interest in sort of, you know, playing this Duke or getting into it again? Because I mean, you loved the first season, didn't you?
I did love the first. I really like the second one too. I don't think I wouldn't like the third one. I just there's so many other games to play that I haven't ever played before, like Rocket League.
Rocket League and Skyrim.
Well, it's funny too because I remember at the start of the summer I was like, all right, I'm definitely gonna play either the Game of Thrones Telltale game or Life is Strange or one of these story-based games. And guess how many of those I finished this summer?
Did you even start any of them?
Nope.
Did you even like?
No, I did not.
I would love to hear you play Life is Strange. I'd love to see.
Well, I played the first episode and I liked
out.
it, and I want to play it more. But I just never.
I
don't
think
know.
the thing with Life is Strange, I think it would be partly rage and partly sort of liking it, but I think the rage would probably override the liking it.
I really liked it, the first series.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved Life is Strange. I did.
I still didn't play Before the Storm yet. I've got that.
It's all right Before the Storm, but I didn't like it as much somehow. I found it a bit irritating in places because you've got to get your head around that goddamn dialogue, you know, the way they talk and the way it's written.
A lot of hella.
That's the same with the first Life is Strange.
You know, there were parts of it that were good. There were parts of it that I really liked, but there were parts of it that... And it's a very somber game, you know, Before the Storm, because you kind of know what happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of somber, but obviously I can't say too much because Duke obviously hasn't played the bloody first one yet.
Shut up. All right, moving on. Chris, what do you got?
Well, anyone that listens to our show knows that I bang on about the Ys series, and in fact, I think last time I was on your show, Ys, it's spelled Y-S. So,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they're called. There's loads of them. This is Ys 8 that I'm playing. Last time I was on your show, I think I was playing Ys Othin Falgana. This is what I'm playing now. Is Ys 8, the Lacrimosa of Dana.
It's like me with Yakuza.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. They're RPGs. They're Japanesey, but they're action RPGs. And the historically, the series has been relatively sort of stripped back compared to a standard RPG. There's not millions and millions of things to find, like upgrades and stuff. It's not confusing. It's bog standard meat and potatoes RPG.
Can I just check?
Well
Is this turn-based combat?
No,
or is this...
this is running around with a sword and just running up to enemies, and smacking the shit out of them, and you get loads of different skills to learn, and basically you can do all sorts of shit. And in this one, you've got 3 characters that you can control. You control all 3 at the same time, but you switch. You press a button and you switch to any one of the 3. So each of them has got specific strengths. One of them swings a massive anchor around, and he's good at if enemies have got shells, like massive sort of shell creatures that are coming out of the sea and that sort of thing.
Stole it from GTA 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then there's the woman who's good at taking stuff out that flies. But yeah, it's about the story is about this. All of them start off with this guy Adol who washes up on a beach somewhere, usually an island somewhere, and it's him starting exploring, trying to work out what's going on, and usually you can save the world.
I feel like I played a demo of this and thought it was even like too much weirdness for me.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Pilch played it and thought it was shit, the demo, and they kind of just drop you into. I think the demo just drops you into it with not sort of any sort of introduction as to what the hell's going on, and it is weird when you just all of a sudden have 3 random characters. Like you press a button, oh, I'm another character. Why? But it actually works really, really well once you get used to it. I mean, the story is cool. It's on this really nice sort of island. They get big ship with loads of people on it, gets washed up, and everyone gets spread out across this island, and you're basically trying to find all the survivors of people that have washed up. So you sort of going around this huge island, really sort of like Caribbean sort of island, really, really pretty, lots of nice foliage and waterfalls and shit. Just exploring the map, and as I said to Colin, it's one of those games where you can get sort of 100% map. So as you've got a sort of fog of war as you're walking along, so you're sort of uncovering parts of the map, and yeah, it's really sort of addictive. I'm one of these people that likes to sort of wander around and try and get 100% in a map area. It's weird because there's a lot of other shit like that I can't stand, but I love this, and it's cool. You go in all these different areas and you find new castaways, and you bring them back to your village. You create in this sort of castaway village where, oh, that's very handy. We found a doctor, and he'll sell you stuff to heal you. Oh, you used to run a forge. That's perfect. Well, you can make the armor for it. Fantastic. What are the?
That'd be great if you on the island. That'd be great if on the island you found. Hey, I'm a doctor. All right, you can use yourself stuff to heal us. How about you? I'm also a doctor. You can also sell us stuff to heal us. How about you? I'm a doctor. Fucking doctors.
Oh, this whole ship was a ship of doctors, and now we're just all gonna die because we're useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. I like it. It's fast paced, it's fun. And this one compared to all the others, I've probably played 5 or 6 of the others in the series, something like that, maybe 5. And they weren't too wordy. Whereas this one it wasn't to start with the first few hours, but it's starting to get to the point where, I haven't killed anything for about 10 minutes, and I would like to go and do that now.
Yeah.
So the previous ones weren't too bad, but this it's most of the time it's fine, but every now and then it just because there's a bit I've just done where it just gets into like, oh, there's a murder mystery going on, like people in the castaway village, 2 of them have been murdered, and now we've got to try and work out who the murderer is, and you're going off doing all these
taking a page from Danganronpa,
trying to find clues, and oh, what's this over here? Well, there's the boat's missing, and all this. You're trying to find clues, and I just want to go and kill some shit. But yeah, the game's great for just killing shit on the whole. The voice acting. It's good. They when the game came out, it came out this time last year on PS4 and PC, I think. And basically, the people who did the translation completely fucked it, and all of the English translation for it was really badly done. There was like spelling mistakes. That the dialogue was terrible, and basically the company that makes it just went back and said, sorry, we're gonna go back to it, revisit it, and they spent 6 months just redoing all the dialogue, redoing all of the text in the game.
Sorry, is that the only thing they fixed? Is the text and the dialogue?
Sorry?
That's the only thing they fixed was the text and the dialogue?
Well, they tightened a lot of it up. I mean, I'm playing on Switch now.
No, I'm just saying the graphics are the same.
The graphics are the same, yeah. Yeah, the graphics are the same. I think they've probably...
Are you trying to insinuate the graphics are shit, Duke? Is that what
you're saying? No, I'm just curious. I've never heard of a developer doing that only with the text and the dialogue.
Yeah, I think that's that was where they were getting the... I mean, the game got like 9.5 on Polygon when it came out originally.
Sure.
So it was a good game, but the dialogue was poor. But yeah, I bought it on PS4, but once I heard about the dialogue problem, I basically just sold it straight away and just waited for the Switch version to come out because I'm just.
So
more
what's the story? Is there an actual story, or is it?
You're on an island. There's a lot of doctors everywhere.
Yeah,
doctors
there is a story.
Forge people.
This island is like, it's kind of like a cursed island, something like, I don't know, like the Tomb Raider island that won't let people leave. But then there's there are things called primordials, which are basically dinosaurs. So there's people that have been on this island for a long time, and you find sort of drips of story from like dead people's notes and things like that to find out what's going on with like these primordials and why people can't leave the island and what's going on with it. So yeah, it is kind of like a mystery as to what's going on as well. But you're basically sent out by the captain of the ship to map the island, which is the reason for you to go off to find all the things, find all the castaways, and then basically find a way to get off the island. And that's the story. But there's also this background story of this woman Dana, who's in the net title, and it's in between there's in between cutscenes that do bits of story, and this is kind of
I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm looking at this. It looks like it could have been made for the PS2.
Oh yeah, no, it could have been, yeah. But the previous games, I played the older games, and they came out years and years ago, and they still play and feel really, really good. I mean, as I say, the combat is so much fun. It really is. And yeah, I just love exploring and killing things. It's just good fun. So it's on Vita, it's on PS4, and all sorts of shit. So I really like it. I don't think many people would.
Trying to find some combat. All it is people talking. There we go.
People might be surprised how much they liked it. I don't know. I think for me, it really is awesome. But I understand that I'm a minority potentially.
Well, it's a certain type of game. Not everybody's going to be into it, but you know.
Yeah, I love the series, and as you say, like it's nice to have a JRPG, with the sort of themes and sort of nice music you get in a JRPG, but you haven't got to do the I don't mind turn-based stuff, but I much prefer this, which is it's fast and fun. So it's kind of like you get your pulse racing. So it's got all that leveling up bullshit you get in RPGs, but it's not particularly hard. And it's just enjoyable. So yeah, I ramble about this game on our show way too much, and I've done it on your show now. So sorry, everybody. And if you listen to our show,
a lot.
Just I'm sorry. What can I say? I've basically decided not to talk about it on our show anymore because Rob gets bored, and so does everybody else. So, but I thought I'd enlighten you.
Well, we did ask, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's our own fault. We only have ourselves to blame.
That's right.
You do. I'm gonna stop now before you throw me off.
Yeah, you're saying that right, but then Duke's going to talk about Skyrim next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So go on then, Duke.
Oh, it's my turn.
Out of the way.
Okay, so I've been playing Skyrim. There's not much to say about it though. Yeah. What else?
What is left to say about Skyrim at this point in time?
Not much, really. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about something I haven't played before: Minecraft.
Oh God.
Yeah. So there was a big update recently in Minecraft. The 1.13. Have I talked about this?
Probably.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
No clue.
Well, there's a lot of updates underwater, and there's also a server that I play on called 24 Karat Craft. So if anybody wants to play with me on the PC, holler at your boy, and I can hook you up with the 24 Karat Craft. And I joined the city, because that's the thing. I was telling the Duchess about this at brunch today. It can be alienating playing Minecraft alone, because you go look for a community, and there's like a server with 100 people on it. Okay, cool, rock on. You go on there, and you're like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Nothing. Silence on the chat. And you're like, damn, there's 100 people here, but nobody's talking. And the reason is because everybody's doing kind of their own thing. They've all got their communities going, and they're talking amongst themselves. So I was like, all right, whatever. So the 24 Karat Craft server had a Discord thing that was like, hey, these cities are recruiting when we reboot the server on Saturday. So I was like, okay. So I hooked up with this city called Vac Vegas. What up, Vac Vegas? What? And we started a new city, and like, it was way the hell out on the edge of the map, so we had to get to we went to this mesa biome, which is like, you know, basically a big desert, you know, rocky desert area, and so we had to kind of terraform it, and yeah, it's just a bunch of cool people, and so we're doing that, and we're playing in the new expanded ocean update, although we're nowhere really near the ocean, so I guess we're not too far from the ocean, but whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I just don't think, for me, it'll ever be
as good as it was when you all had your server and everyone was playing together.
Yeah,
I know.
The G4TE
Let's keep talking
server,
about
man,
the good
that
old
was
days.
something
That's
really
what people want to hear
something
about.
else.
Right.
You know, and I think...
Did you see that picture that someone made like a Japanese city out of Minecraft? And
I've seen
like
so many amazing
like
pictures and things. It's just unbelievable what people have.
It's crazy. You look at. I mean, admittedly, I look at it on my phone, but it just looks like an actual city.
Did you have a house in Minecraft, and then the following day you went on, and somebody had built the Wembley Stadium in your garden,
and a penis.
See, you've never lived. They were the days. Did you ever go on the Minecraft server for G4TE, Chris? Did you ever do that?
I didn't know. I mean, Minecraft has never enticed me to play it. I played it for about 30 seconds on my Raspberry Pi when I got it, and went, nope, I can't be bothered. I'm too lazy.
You know, I was kind of like that, right? Then they did the G4TE thing, which was amazing, and we had so much fun. There was SLH and Marcanix, and just everybody was in there, you know, just building stuff. And every time you went, what was really cool about it was every time you went on the server, something new had just appeared. You know, someone had just built.
That's what we're doing with the Carrotcraft server that we've got. This community I'm in, it's that same sort of feel. You know, like people are working on stuff, building new things. I just, took our Nether portal, and made it into a smiley face. It's just cool, and it feels like, we've got a purpose. Like, okay, we need cows, and so we got the cows over to, we put them on a boat, and then they came ashore, and we're like, get into the pen, stupid cow, and we all had to work together to get the cow to come in, and it's just great.
Yeah, you see, I get that, but I think what made the G4TE something different, or what made it so cool, was just the randomness of it.
Yeah, well,
because like one day, I came on and someone had built a space shuttle. You know, there's just a massive space shuttle in the middle of the map. And
it's almost as though you're only limited by your imagination.
Yeah, it was super cool. And I do, as much as I don't play it anymore, and I don't even imagine I probably would again, but I admire it for what it is. And it is literally, there is the only limitation is your imagination, isn't it? Or what you can come up with.
Yeah.
I'm not a particularly creative person. I do sort of wood carving and stuff, but I'm the last person to sort of say, oh yeah, video games don't achieve anything. But I kind of think if you're spending all that time making something, why not make something in the real world that you got that's tangible?
Well, that's why I started. That's why I started doing cross stitch, because I wanted something that would actually stick around if I was putting so much time into it. On the other hand, you've seen these Tibetan monks make these mandalas where they use the sand and they blow it in, and they spend hours and hours and hours making this beautiful image, and then they sweep it all away to remind themselves of the impermanence of everything.
Yeah, and it is true, and I think that's what makes Minecraft so cool. That people can make all this cool stuff that you can admire and go, yeah, you know what I mean? That someone has put a lot of time and effort into making whatever that may be, and the end product is pretty cool, and it almost is like art. And I hate to say that, but it kind of is, isn't it? You know what I mean? Some of the stuff that people make, it is like art.
It's sculpture. That's exactly what it is. It's sculpture.
And like Steven Tyler said, life's a journey, not a destination. So
exactly.
Enjoy the enjoy the journey. And,
So that's it. Minecraft. If anybody's out there playing, holler at me.
Who knew? An interesting conversation on Minecraft after all these years.
Yep.
Finally.
Oh God. Yeah. I did love it. I can't imagine ever going back to it, but I did love it in its time.
All right, anyway, Stu, what have you been playing lately?
Hey, it's me.
It's not 2014. Hurry up.
Yeah, I've been playing a weird game that Elijah Woods is backing, and I don't know, it's kind of a figurehead for, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Is that the one he came on stage during E3 and fucked up?
He did. That is correct. He really did. It's called Transference, and it's kind of this is a demo, but it's almost like a standalone experience. It's a demo, but it is kind of just like a snippet from the game. So rather than being just like, I don't know, it's called Transference, the Walter Test Case. So the premise, it's meant to be a full-on. When it was announced, it was going to be just be like a PSVR game. But then they went, oh, yeah, but we might not sell as many if we just like stick to that. So it's now available as non-VR and VR, depending on what you want to play it on. And it's basically, it's kind of like you're going into this dude's memories or mind and you're going to wander around, but you're totally safe. It's all good. So you can't die or anything, you know, you've just got to sort of work out what the hell's going on in his head. And this guy's got PTSD, so you're sort of going in his memories, and he's like a war veteran, and shit's gone down, and he's obviously not in a good place anymore. I love the styling of it. It's kind of like 70s, looks like some weird sort of 70s TV show or something, you know, like back in the day. Oh, we've got Dick Butt on the screen. There you go.
Oh, he's in the game? Awesome.
Yeah, it makes every game awesome, does Dick Butt. But yeah, it's actually kind of better than I thought it was going to be. It's interesting. It's kind of like it's a bit, I don't know, it's hard to describe.
Is it like Hellblade at all, where you've got voices or anything like that, or are you?
No,
it's not sort of trippy like Hellblade.
No, it is kind of trippy, but it's more in the sort of style of you've got to sort of find things within the scenes to use. And the demo that's given it switches between two times. I think it's 82 and then 10 years later or 5 years later. And you've got to sort of take things from one time era and then transport them to the other time era to solve the puzzles. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, sure. It's like Singularity.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit like that. And you have to, the light switch resets everything. So you switch the light on and off to switch from one time to another. I mean, graphically, it's not the best looking game in the world, but
it's VR.
It's VR and it's serviceable. And in non-VR, it looks kind of fine. Yeah, I've not seen any of this stuff. This is totally different to the demo.
I just did a search for Transference. Let's play. This is what came up.
Yeah, so then I didn't see none of the hands or anything.
Does it look like the same graphics, basically?
Yeah, this is totally different. This isn't the demo, so this is interesting to see something I haven't seen.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it'll be kind of cool. I do think it'll be kind of cool. Obviously, it's very much story-driven.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this is going to work. So this is some sort of weird scientific experiment thing where people are transporting themselves into people's memories.
Dude, it's like Bird Story people. To the moon.
I don't know. Yeah, to the moon.
They're making a film of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the moon. I hope so. I love that. I love that.
They are. I think they are.
Wow. Is it going to be an anime or is it going to be an actual film?
I don't know. I think it's an anime. I saw a couple of screenshots from it today. I think it was like an anime type thing.
Yeah, well, that'll be fine. I love to.
As long as they use the original score, the original music, because that's kind of integral, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. The weird thing about Transference, it's not. I don't think it's an out-and-out horror game, but it is creepy. You know, there's some creepy stuff going on.
Does this look more like it?
I have no clue. It's not come on yet. You know the delay, man. You know the delay.
Yeah, I know. Anyway. Okay, so
yes, that looks more like it. That's the demo right there.
Okay, so are you eager to? But well, I guess you don't have VR anymore, huh?
I don't know. I got rid of mine.
But are you interested in playing? Are you going to get it when it comes out?
I don't know. I have no clue really because it seems interesting, but I guess I'll wait and see what happens.
It's not a must-have yet, based on the demo. Did you finish the demo?
It's an interesting puzzle game. You know, it's sort of interesting how because you kind of, I mean, it's spoilers, but you have to get the key from one era to open the cellar door in the other one. So it's kind of puzzles of that nature. So you sort of get one object from one sort of time loop to then use it in the other.
If you have
you have to keep playing through until you solve all these different little aspects of the game.
Yes.
So I don't know. It seems okay.
All right.
Seems okay. Anyway, that's enough about that because there's not a lot else to say about it. So, back over to you, Chris.
Okay. Yeah, I've been messing around with my RetroPie again this week. I found a cool way of getting them it fully loaded with all sorts of great stuff. You can download images basically, like that basically just fill the entire card. Like I bought a 128 gig card for it, and you just download like a full image and just copy it straight onto the card, and it basically just has all the games for all the consoles forever.
Yeah, so just like ROMs are the event.
Yeah, it's got all the ROMs. Yeah, but basically everything from sort of ZX Spectrum through to PS1, Dreamcast. It pretty much all the sort of smaller systems where the ROMs will be small, they have all of the games, literally all of them. Whereas like the Dreamcast stuff, they'll put a handful, maybe 10 or whatever on there of good ones, and then you can add your own, leave a bit of space for it. So and people have just taken it to the next level now, and there's a website that I go to called Arcade Punks, which does a load of them.
Arcade Punks.
You know, you've just reminded me, and I almost forgot this. But at Chinny's wedding, they had retro consoles set up.
Nice.
So they had SNES.
I didn't want to go, and now I wish I did.
Yeah.
Why do I have a feeling that was Tara's idea?
So we
awesome.
actually, Millie and I played Pong for ages. So we actually played Pong. It was well cool. So we played some Pong, we played some Street Fighter, we played some Mario Kart N64. And what was kind of funny is they also had a Switch set up towards the end. And guess what the kids were playing on Switch?
Old games.
Breath of the Wild.
No. Come on, guess what they were playing on Switch? What are all the kids playing now?
Snipper Clippers.
Fortnite.
That's what all the kids were playing.
Diane, get in here. It's about to come storming down. She's out in the garden. It's the apocalypse sky.
Is it?
In case you hear a lot of rain, that's about to happen here.
But yeah, we played Pong, and I'd forgotten that it was to 21. It took ages to play again.
Yeah.
And they had the little red button, you know, to make it go faster and stuff. Oh my god, it was so much fun. Do you know, you forget how addictive Pong is.
No, you forget that Chris was talking. That's what you forget.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's your fault for putting bloody Pong on the
It's my
screen.
fault. You can't keep a fucking train of thought going, but it's my fault.
What are you talking about?
I get easily distracted. You should know this by
Go
now.
ahead, Chris.
Yes.
Arcade Punks.
Arcade Punks. You can download these things, and you copy the thing on there. And people have set up like really cool sort of images. Like so, for each console have like animated backgrounds and stuff. And then for every single game that you highlight down, it'll play a little video to show you what they look like and all this stuff. So people have found some really cool sort of like there's one that's like looks like a comic book, and there's you can choose what you want and get it. And I basically sat down. I just really wanted to play. Oh, I'll tell you what made me do it, because in case you know, because Streets of Rage 4 got announced, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
I'm just jumping the gun on the news there, seeing as it's topical because we're talking about old games.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, Streets of Rage 4. But that made me get Streets of Rage 2 and 3 out again. So that's what got me to getting it out. And I just literally sat down on the sofa at like 2:00 in the afternoon, played Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 3, and then just fucked.
So let me ask you, right, and I can't remember the bloody name of the game. Was it Raging Justice? Was it Raging Justice?
Yes. Yeah.
That has come out now. Did you get this game? Because it didn't review very well, to be fair.
I felt really bad because we were all like fawning over these lovely people, the Makins, when like the last couple of times at EGX we've gone over to them.
And she was pregnant.
Love your game. Oh, we can't wait. And then it's like, oh, it's only coming to Xbox. Oh, I might get an Xbox for it. And then it came out and I was like, it's on everything. It's even on Switch, and I still didn't buy it. I was like, sorry. But yes.
So bad.
No, I know. We were like, oh, we love you so much. We'll support you. We'll do it. And no, didn't even buy it. It's only £8. Fuck it. So no, I did not play that. I just played loads of old games. So yeah, that's my story about lots of old games. I've played more of them.
That was great. Thanks.
So let me ask you this though. What's your favourite old game that you've revisited then?
Well, I mean, Streets of Rage 2 is unbeatable as an old game. I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm fine. It's just that's not answering the question, but I'm just finding loads of old arcade games that are actually really, really good. Like I'm getting into shoot 'em ups, like difficult bullet hell shooters and stuff like that, and then just going, actually, those are cool, and just doing a bit of research on the internet and saying, okay, what are the best arcade bullet hells, and they're all on there. So you just go and play them, and like that's what I'm finding fun about it. I mean, there's so many games that I've played over the years that that I think still stand up. And we talk about them all the time on our show. We do like that retro segment, which we play terrible games sometimes, but Contra 3, the stuff that's still great. The snares.
You do it so that we don't have to.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we don't do none of that bollocks.
I know. We've
God.
got to have our own hook. We're not good at anything else, so we may as well try and find something to keep people interested.
We're not good at anything else, bless you. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I love my retro games. You know that, but I won't bore you to tears with all the ones I've played this week.
So is it like the camping thing? Is it like over 10?
What? How many retro games? Well, no, literally, I'll play one for like 5-10 minutes. Go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you play them like you used to on when you used to load up a game when you were a kid on the Spectrum or the N64, not the N64, but the Commodore 64, and then you'd play it for like 5 minutes and then you'd load another one up to play.
Didn't he just say he played it for 5 or 10 minutes?
A little bit like that sometimes, but like I again, this is something that I do because I'm a proper nerd. What can I say? I guess a lot of people do these like hidden gems videos or just hidden gems lists where there's just like a list of all the best games that are on, say, the Super Nintendo, whatever, that people never played at the time, never heard of them, or they only made it out in Japan, but they were really good games, and you might not have heard of them and try them out. So I'll go down a list like that and just pick a couple of games out and just try them out and go, this is sweet.
Come inside, it's raining.
I've never played before.
Sorry, the Duchess is out in the rain like a lunatic.
Is it really chucking it down now?
Well, it's about to. Sorry, Chris.
Go and take her an umbrella.
So what's the best hidden gem game you've played recently?
There was one called Pulse Man that I played yesterday. It was quite good.
Pulse Man?
Sort of run and gun. Pulse Man. You're just like a normal sort of side-scrolling run and gun shooter, but then you could do this thing where you sort of became a ball of light and bounced around like a crazy Sonic the Hedgehog kind of thing. It's quite cool. Right. Anyway, I'm boring the shit out of people. So, Duke, what are you playing?
Nope, that's it. Minecraft, a little bit of Skyrim, a little bit of Rocket League, and I think that's it. Oh, and Guild Wars 2, but there's nothing to say about it.
Wow, there you go.
There you go.
Right, well, in that case, I guess we need to get on to news.
Oh, snap. I think it's time for the news.
Putting news first.
Hey, we don't need your jingle, buddy. We got our own goddamn jingle.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Wow, that was quite impressive.
Did I mention Streets of Rage 4 came out?
Oh, my God.
You did mention that, although I haven't got that in our news, because I really don't give a shit.
Nobody does.
No.
Someone's got to stand up for the retro.
Like anybody fucking gives a shit.
I do, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm going to start off with tonight is EGX, of course, because that's coming up fast.
Of course.
In fact, it's going to be like, 3 weeks or something?
Something
it's about
like
3 weeks, isn't it?
I don't know.
Here's the list of games that are going to be playable. So this is what you're going to be playing when we get there. Are you ready for? Are you excited?
What you're going to be standing in line
I'm not going to be
play
playing any
for
of them.
2
I'm going
hours.
to watch you play some shit game, and I'm going to moan about it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess the biggest one, and this is the biggest one, is Metro Exodus is going to be playable.
Really? That's the biggest one?
It kind of is, really, isn't it? Because let's be honest. Chris will back me up on this. In the last few, like when EGX or Eurogamer, as it was back in the day, very first started, a lot of the games that were playable weren't out for like months or even into the following year. But more recently, and in the last few years, it tends to have been games that are either coming out like imminently or are already out when you want to play them.
Yeah.
The AAA games anyway. Yeah, the sort of indie stuff is generally it's not out or there's. It's
you just got to know where to look, Stu.
But yeah, AAA stuff. You go there, and you're like, okay. Yeah, well, it's the new Assassin's Creed that's already out. Okay, I'm not going to queue for 20 minutes for it or 3 hours for it or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the biggest issue I have with EGX in recent years, that they're not really giving us anything that we can't, either we can't buy and play or, something that's imminently going to come out. And I think that'll be the same again. I don't think that's going to change much for this year. At the moment, the big games are Destiny 2, Forsaken, like the expansion thing. I don't really care.
course
Who
not.
gives a
Who
shit?
does? Nobody does.
That was free on PS Plus this week, and I'm not going to play it. So.
Yeah, Life is Strange 2, which comes out this month anyway. So that's kind of coming out the week after EGX, I think it is.
And that's not the sort of game you want to play, because it's like a story game. Why would you play that?
Right.
Spider-Man, which comes out this week.
You should go to the Life is Strange booth and be like, hey, when I play this game here, will it transfer to my PC at home?
Yeah.
Save my progress.
Will I get my save? Can you save my save or something?
Just put it on this flash drive. Just wave a flash drive in his face. Put it on the flash drive, man. Sir, you're going to have to leave. No, put it on the flash drive.
Marvel Spider-Man, which comes out this week. So that comes out this week, but obviously that'll be there. Metro Exodus is kind of the only big one. That's not going to be out for like over a year. I think that comes out in sort of April, May time next year.
Yeah, Chris,
isn't it?
you should get excited. Here's your opportunity to play a buggy build that will be completely different when the game actually comes out.
Shut up. It's fine. Do you know?
I'm hearing a good buzz for it. This week there's been people playing it, and there's getting some very positive stuff saying, the original ones were quite sort of focused, but this is obviously a bit more open world. But they're saying that it seems like it gives the opportunity for a lot more scares and surprises and sort of organic stuff to happen.
See, I think that's the thing that we have to look forward to with this game is that there's 1,000,001 open world games. That's not a new thing. That's not exciting by itself. But when you have a game series that's been all linear, generally speaking, and then they release a version that's got an open world in it, that's exciting. That's different. That's new.
I don't think it's going to be fully open world, though. I think it's going to be a bit more like Tomb Raider, where you have open areas within a linear story, is what I think it's going to be, which I'm fine with, because I don't want open world, Horizon shit,
I just mean like opening it up in some way is a thing in and of itself for a game like this. Because what else are they going to advertise? Like, hey, we got monsters, you got guns. Like, that's not new. So for them to open it up a little bit, that's cool. That's different.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a problem. I think that's fine. But like I say, I don't think it's going to be open world as in sort of open world. It's kind of just be more open.
Absolutely.
Yeah, more open, which is fine by me.
Moving on.
Like Half-Life 2 sort of thing.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Which again was fine by me because that's why I love them so much. But yeah, we'll wait to see. Yeah, but I'm kind of looking forward. For the first time in I can't think how many years, there's actually a game that I want to queue up for. And
so is that you're going to race right for it, Stu? As soon as you
I
get there?
I want to race for it.
Get out of my way!
Morning. That'll
never
be my
queue for anything.
Running to. Yeah.
I only queue because we all just stood around, and what else are you going to do? Like,
it's a chance. What else are you going to do? Welcome to EGX, where you stand around because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. And you sort of
sells itself.
Yeah.
You sort of queue up for all that time for a 3-minute demo and then go, yeah, it's pretty good.
To watch Stu's reactions to Sonic Mania, that's, it's worth it. It's worth standing in the queue for half an hour.
God, I hate that game.
This is my life. Yeah, my wife is outside. There's about to be a cataclysmic hurricane outside. She's wandering around the garden doing stuff. My dog is in the next room having some weird dream, and he keeps going. I live with 2 weirdos. What the hell?
We need to get you in the basement or something.
Exactly.
To make you safe from the hurricanes.
Yeah, well, we're fine.
I see what you're saying.
It's just dark.
I'm not talking about when
I'm in the basement.
Getting in and doing some weird
I thought it was some sort of bestiality thing you were going on about. What is that all about?
What? What? Are you talking about like a BDSM type thing in the basement? Like a dungeon, a sex dungeon?
I have no clue what goes on in your basement, Duke.
Oh, the gimp.
Anyway, is there anything else to say about EGX, or are we ready to move on?
No, there isn't. No, there really isn't. Anyway, I think I've got some other news. So.
Well, I would hope so, because I don't got shit.
Yeah, here we go.
Minecraft had a new update.
This is kind of interesting. So, Jacksonville shooting victim is going to sue EA and the venue.
Really?
Yeah, so Jacob Mitic. Right. Jacob Mitic, a survivor of deadly shooting at a Madden tournament last weekend that took 2 lives, is suing both the venue and Madden publisher Electronic Arts for negligence, according to a complaint filed last night.
You sue the people who
was
money.
shot twice, is seeking damages from 8 defendants, including EA, the Jacksonville Landing Mall, the Pizza Parlor Chicago Pizza, where the tournament took place, and the suit alleges that the venue was unsafe and that EA failed to provide a safe and secure environment. Now, I kind of half agree with him, because if they managed to let somebody into there with a gun, it does sound like they didn't do a very good job with security, did they, really?
Well, do you think that they should have metal detectors and gun searches for every venue?
It makes you wonder whether they should, and I'm not going to call out America here, but...
I am! That's who he should be suing, is the goddamn Congress, because they refuse to pass any meaningful gun legislation.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Keep guns out of the hands of mentally unstable people. No,
yeah.
That shit.
You
But
gotta
it does not surprise me in the slightest that he's suing them, because I mean, let's be honest, his American football computer game skills will only get him so far in life. At some point, he's going to become shit at that game, or they're going to do an update and he's going to be terrible and he's going to need some money. So
look, the real point is you sue the people who have money. And I don't know that Fred's Pizza Venue, whatever the hell it was, I don't think they have a lot of money, so he's got to go after EA. But I don't really know what they did wrong.
You see, what I don't agree with is what they've cited in the actual description of the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Which is Jacksonville Landing as a hub of dangerous violence and too often deadly activity, citing stabbing and shooting incidents that have happened at the mall over the past few years. That has nothing to do with some dude who was a bit unhinged, who was playing in a fucking Madden tournament.
Well, no. That's not the point, though. The point is, if there's a pattern of violent incidents taking place at your mall and you haven't done enough to prevent that in future incidents, then maybe you are negligent. I don't know enough about that particular place.
I guess, but that is not the fault of some idiot who is unhinged, who's been playing Madden and loses a game and then decides to shoot everybody. That has no connection to previous shootings or stabbings, does it?
But except that it sounds like maybe for some reason that mall attracts violent people. And if that's the case...
They should get Paul Blart in there. Is that his name?
Yeah, there you go.
Sort it out.
He'll sort it out. I mean, it's just a sick tragedy. And, look, my guess is this person is angry at the world and he wants some sort of justice through the financial system, and I don't really think that's a good way to get your justice, but I don't know. Maybe these places did something. Maybe the venue should have been more careful. I don't know. But I doubt it. I don't really think there's a lot of grounds for that. My guess is that the judge will throw that out because there's really not a lot of grounds for that.
People will sue for anything these days, and if there's any chance that he can get some money out of it,
I was going to say, how much is this the dude, or how much is it the lawyers going, oh, you know what, you should definitely do this?
Well, that, and don't forget, everybody who got shot is now facing huge hospital bills because, again, hooray for America! We don't have one of your fancy NHSs. A lot of these guys probably don't even have health insurance, so how are they going to pay their legal or their hospital bills? GoFundMe can only do so much.
Anyway, in more important news, no, that's not more important. But,
in less tragic news, perhaps.
Less tragic news. There you go, like that. Less tragic news. Valve are finally in a place where it's able to invest and focus on games again.
Not that they will.
Not that they will. Because it's taken this long for them to invest and focus on games again. Valve is determined to make games again now that it no longer needs as many bodies working on the Steam service.
You know what, though? Here's something I realized that I'm pissed off about. And I can play this.
Pissing me off.
Why doesn't the Steam Link have a goddamn on-off switch?
Yeah. Mine just keeps switching on randomly.
No, it doesn't. It literally is just on or off.
Because I will turn it off.
You can turn it off.
No, I did. I turned it off, and then but I have a wireless mouse, so I forget to turn off the mouse. And then the next day, I go to move stuff around on the table or whatever, and the light on the mouse comes on, and it goes, that indicates that the mouse is on again, which means as soon as you use the mouse in some way, it turns on the Steam Link again. And I'm like, God damn it!
Mine did that. My wife was watching TV in the other room, and she just suddenly shouted, "The Steam Link's come on!" And it basically just hijacked the TV. And I was just playing on the PC. I wasn't even playing a game. It just decided to update or something, and then just triggered it, and it switched on.
I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm unplugging it every time we're done with it. What kind of
Yeah, I'm throwing
stupid
mine in the
design
bin. I
is
don't need
that?
it.
Jesus Christ! Come on,
Bro,
Steam.
I've used mine loads. I must admit, it is something
Yeah.
I've used a lot.
Oh, I use it a lot too, but it's just so frustrating that in the name of like sleek design, it's like the same thing with Apple's iPods back in the day. We don't need volume buttons. Yes, you fucking do. What is wrong with you? Minimalism can go too far.
Yeah. Who wants to charge their phone and listen to some music at the same time? I mean,
Yeah,
what sort of
exactly.
crazy person?
Right.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry, you were saying, Stu, about Steam
Anyway,
is
this
going
is
to
what
actually make a game?
This is what Valve had to say.
Yeah.
So, we spent a lot of time improving customer service on Steam. Artifact programmer Brendan Reinhardt told IGN. That was a hard problem, and it took a bunch of people, a bunch of time. He obviously likes to use the word bunch.
A bunch of time?
He uses it a bunch.
A bunch of time to work on. A bunch of investment we've done over the past few years hasn't really been exceptionally visible to customers playing a bunch of our games.
I don't know. Every time I go on Steam now, there's that new friend interface. That looks really
cool.
I
fucking hate it. And then it has to load up, and it takes more time than it normally does to load.
It's 4
Steam.
seconds, dude. Seriously, you can't be complaining about this.
Stupid. Tell you.
Anyway.
Now we're in a place where we're able to invest and focus a lot more on games again, and to deliver a bunch of high quality games that show we're actually working really hard on a bunch of games.
Now, how many
At
of
least
those
he's not
bunches
saying
did you
super
add?
every other word like the rest of the hipster developers out there.
Yeah.
Freaking bunch though, man.
Wow.
Maybe you give us a bunch of flowers.
Is he like Owen Wilson? Wow.
You see, what annoys me is though, the only thing, right? The only game they've got upcoming is this fucking shitty card game that I really don't give a shit about. Now, I'm not saying that people aren't excited for some shitty fucking Valve card game, but I want a proper frigging game.
But you are saying that they shouldn't be excited about it.
No, I don't want a bunch of card games with a bunch of things that you can bunch of buy.
I see
and
what
it's
you
free
did
to
there.
play,
It's very
but
subtle.
you can buy a bunch of avatars for your bunch of card games. But I just want a proper game, man.
Tell you what, just ignore them. Just all these stupid little Valve stories. I noticed you've got the old news from last week. He had a Steam had a data leak. Just ignore all the Valve stuff until
That was
you
me,
hear
to be
an
honest.
announcement. And
The
then,
Steam had a data link was my story that I added. I thought
That
it
was a
kinda
frigging
interesting.
day ago. It was a day ago, that story.
But
So
like,
fucking,
just
fuck
ignore Valve because I can tell it gets
Yeah,
you.
let's
wound
move
up
on,
because-
shall we? What's the next news story?
Yes. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw has been announced.
What?
Do you know the game Rebel Galaxy?
No.
It's a good
Oh,
game.
that's the one. It's the one that's sort of a strategy type thing, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a cool
Oh wait,
game.
Rebel Galaxy. That was the I played that. That's this. Okay, never
You
mind.
like Rebel Galaxy?
Yeah, I like Rebel Galaxy. Why don't you stop talking shit about it?
I'm not talking shit about
I know,
it.
I'm
telling you
joking.
something Cool about
I'm joking.
It. Yeah,
So
so
what's it
Rebel
called?
Galaxy Outlaw has been
Yes.
announced that apparently will look a lot like Wing Commander Privateer.
Ooh.
And he does. I mean, I'm looking at screenshots here. It looks kind of cool.
Well, I got a reveal trailer coming up on the stream, so just hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts, man.
Yeah.
Holding.
So this is set a generation before the original Rebel Galaxy, and Outlaw puts the players in the boots of Juno Markev. They come up with some great names, don't they, for these games? A roguish outlaw sort, down on her luck and making her way back up the criminal ladder from scratch. There's smuggling, dogfights, and pirates to deal with, and criminal sorts and grimy bars to hang out
Yeah,
in.
there's always those things. That's not special. What's different?
The bars are more than just mission hubs and even feature arcade games, gambling, and billiards.
Ooh, now you got me.
The game also promises a 24-hour rocks and blues heavy soundtrack, which, as anyone who heard the tunes in the first game can confirm, is damn good news. Yeah, and there's obviously space fighting and shit going down. It looks all right, actually.
Is it still broadside combat?
I have no clue.
Well, okay.
No, you sat in the cockpit. So it's kind of like elite type thing.
How
So you
about
sat in the
that?
cockpit of the ship in full 3D.
This looks like a cartoon show. Where's the goddamn game?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I ain't got no shit. Yeah, what is
an
this?
animated,
What are you playing?
Well, this is an animated reveal trailer, but there's no actual gameplay on it.
No,
That's so
this
weird.
is an animation.
Yeah, but this is apparently how they revealed it.
So yeah, no, that's kind of cool. Kind of cool news.
Yeah.
What else have we got? I have no clue. Let me have a look. Let me have a look what else I've got.
How was I supposed to have news ready?
This week? I've been so busy. I've not done anything.
There's this game called Streets of Rage 4 that got announced.
Apparently, Streets of Rage 4 has been announced. So there you go. Here's some news like for far-flung future. Anthem demo coming for PS4, Xbox One, and PC in Feb next year. So there you go. If you wanna play Anthem, you can kind of wait about 6 months for that. Apparently.
Okay.
Like they've released a demo date like now for Feb next year. Like who gives a shit about that? That's just stupid.
At risk of actually giving it more sort of limelight, did you see some of this Spider-Man sort of graphical downgrade stuff that's been people have been talking about?
I haven't. No, is this from the sort of pro to the normal?
No. This is from the footage shown back when it was first announced to the sort of more recent footage of it, and it's come down to this. It's basically become a meme about this puddle gate. Basically, like there's this massive puddle. There was like a warehouse with Spider-Man sort of coming down as he does.
I have seen the puddle.
Yeah, and the puddle is much smaller now, and they're all like saying, "Oh, it's because the console can't handle all of the extra lighting and effects and stuff, so they've reduced the puddle." And,
seriously, people are upset about a puddle.
Yeah, and
wow.
Seth called it out. There was the guy VG247, which is one of these news websites, put up a tweet about it, sort of basically making a big thing of it. And now I'm propagating this whole thing as well, which I'm not.
Yeah, you're the problem.
People like me are part of the problem. But yeah, Seth called him out and said, "Dude, this isn't the story. Like, there's about 3 people, vocal minority on Reddit somewhere, just moaning about it, and you're making it into this big thing that, oh my god, they've downgraded the quality of the graphics for Spider-Man. It's going to be terrible." People are getting up, they're not getting up in arms about it. A few people are. We'll see what it's like. We'll see what it's like when it comes out, and if it does become a terrible game because the puddles are slightly smaller, then we'll soon know because the reviews are out in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yes, PS Plus games have been announced for 2018 September.
Okay, what do we got?
Yeah, I've got some good stuff. Actually, I've got to say it's a pretty good month if you got PS Plus.
Well, let's prove it.
Because we've got Destiny 2.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Which is pretty good.
I won't play it, like I said.
God of War 3 Remastered.
Oh, yeah.
Which is freaking amazing. I love God of War 3. Another World 20th Anniversary Edition.
That's a really good version, actually. If you liked Another World ever, or even if you've never played it. If you've never played it, actually.
And if you've never played it, it's a classic of gaming.
It's pretty hard going.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the hardest games
But did you play the new
made.
one, Stu? Because you liked the original.
I did, yes. I played it on I think it was on the iPad. And it was re-released for the iPad.
Play a game like that? An iPad?
It worked fine. It was fine.
Tap it at just the right moment.
Not really. It was shit. But I loved Another World. I love that game. I love the intro. The intro was a thing, wasn't it?
I see you came here in your Porsche.
Yeah, yeah. What's he called? What's the main character called?
Nobody cares. Redheaded dude.
Who cares? Anyway, Cube Director's Cut, which is like a puzzly game.
I think I used to play that on PS3. I think it's it's quite a good game.
Yeah, it's cross-buy. Sparkle 2, what the fuck that is?
I think these are the games that are like where there's like coloured balls that are moving up on a track, and you have to shoot other balls at them to make them disappear before they get to you or something like that. It's like a puzzle game, like an action puzzle game, I think. They're good games.
Then Foul Play.
That is my sort of game. That's a Streets of Rage kind of game. That's sort of a bit like Castle Crashers, basically. But it's all set in sort of a theatre. So you're running along, all the backgrounds are changing and moving by people moving them behind you, and everything's on wheels and little contraptions and stuff. You ever play Puppeteer, Stu?
I didn't know.
Oh yeah, it's a bit like that, but yeah, it's basically just like it's kind of a combo-based Castle Crashers type game. It's not as deep or as good as Castle Crashers, but I like it. Bit of button mashing and combo sort of action. It's good.
Yeah, no, it sounds all right. It's probably not my kind of thing, to be honest. But the biggest thing this week, and I don't know whether you watched this or not, but did you watch the 40-minute stream of Cyberpunk 2077, Chris?
I didn't. I didn't because I don't need to. I will just buy that.
No. Do you know what's weird, right? I've kind of been trying to avoid watching stuff, and then I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to watch a bit of it just to see what it looks like, see what it plays like. And then I just watched the whole thing, and it looks amazing.
Good.
It really does look amazing. Yeah, I mean, have you seen this, Duke? Are you interested?
I saw some of it. It looked
Cyberpunk?
fine. Yeah, it looked all right.
It just looks incredible. I mean, it was just interesting just to see how the sort of missions were structured, and just the feel of the world. I must admit, when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, I could definitely see myself running around in this world and just seeing what the hell I can find, because it just looked really deep and interesting. And it's a lot like it's sort of like Witcher in some respects, because there are. What's kind of interesting, if you're not a high enough level character to fight someone, they just have question marks. It doesn't even tell you the level of the character that you're looking at, because you're like, yeah, that's like a definite no.
Yeah, I think they need to make stuff like that a bit more clear, because some of the stuff in Witcher, I know people struggled and like, hang on, why can't I do this? And it maybe isn't as explicit as it needed to be.
Yeah, and to be honest, I do think it'll be fine. I don't think there'll be an issue with that. But just the little details, just the sort of environments, the way it looks, the way it seems to play out, the guns.
Does it look kind of, because when I first saw the reveal trailer for it, because I've always heard about it for quite a while now, and then we saw the reveal stuff, and it looked quite sort of, I don't know, almost comic booky rather than sort of dark and gritty. It didn't.
Yeah, it did remind me a little bit of Crackdown in its sort of art styling and stuff.
That worries me a little bit. I mean, I'm and okay, the Blade Runner thing's been done enough. Maybe we don't need another game that's like that. But that's kind of what I want from one of those games.
It still has some of that, but I don't think it was as watching the actual gameplay demo. It didn't feel as in your face as the trailer did. Because the trailer looked almost a bit cell shaded.
Yeah.
But the watching the actual gameplay, it didn't look as cell shaded or as sort of cartoony as the sort of reveal stuff did.
Yeah,
which I was quite pleased with, because I was a bit worried because the art style did put me off a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about Deus Ex. I really enjoyed the sort of way they went about the art style for that, and the feel and the vibe of the whole thing. Okay, parts of the game itself weren't great, but it just even if the world wasn't as deep and as interesting as it could have been, it had a really good feel to it. And yeah, that's cool. I mean, if it's got its very own style and they stick with it and it looks to work, that's great. But I would have liked the whole miserable, raining all the time, dark shit.
Yeah, I don't think you're definitely not going to get that, but I think, because of the 24-hour day-night cycle, I think that will happen. There will be obviously times in the game. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm assuming there'll be sort of changing weather systems and stuff like that. So I don't think that's beyond the realms. I think you'll get some parts of the game where it is dark and gritty and sort of raining and stuff. But I think there'll be other times when it is bright and sunny and there's lots of neon.
And it'll be like Cuphead.
Yeah, it'll be like Cuphead. Yeah. But yeah, looking at it, it did kind of remind me a little bit of Fallout. There was some Fallout vibes going on.
Yeah, baby. If they have a bobblehead in this game, I'm gonna uninstall Rage Quit.
There was definitely no bobblehead that I saw.
Yeah.
But I did, like I say, the
you just remember at the beginning of the first Borderlands, it's like, oh look, a bobblehead. I get it.
Well, weirdly, now it's interesting that you mentioned Borderlands, because it had a little Borderlands vibe going on as well, because there was sort of numbers shooting out. When you shoot people, numbers fly out of them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so there definitely is that as well. So it does feel like that as well. But I think it'll be its own unique thing.
I feel like there's a small chance that my power's about to go out because there's lightning and thunder near us. Ooh. So just in case everything goes dead, you'll know why.
Yeah, we'll know why. Right, we better wrap the show up then on that point. No, I think it'll be fine. I'm sort of excited now. I'm more excited than I was, so I'm kind of glad that I did watch it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking, I'm actually glad that I did have a look at this because I was, like I say, I was a little bit worried and I was a bit like, I don't know. From seeing the sort of the initial reveal at, E3 and everything, I was a bit like, I'm not too sure about it. But having watched the 40 odd minutes or whatever it is of the sort of demo that they showed, I'm glad they did it because I did really like the look of it. And yeah, I'll definitely be getting this day one. There's no doubt about it, really.
Well, all right.
And it's nice. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So, yeah, totally looking forward to that. I think Duke is moving us
on. No.
Whoa, that ruled.
I want to hear you say over and over some more about how you're looking forward to it and you're glad you watched the demo.
I muted myself when I was screaming, let me out of this hellhole.
I know, yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we have got some emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, only one. Only one this
week.
Well,
that's okay. One's better than none.
In fact, I kind of tell a lie. We have got two, but the other one is some dude asking for a Bitcoin to advertise the Veteran Gamers website.
Oh, sweet. How much Bitcoins is he going to give us?
He wants one Bitcoin or alternatively $35,000.
Wait, we're supposed to give him a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to give us a Bitcoin. Nah, go to hell.
No.
Nothing doing.
He definitely wants.
Get bent.
Yeah, $35,000. Yeah, it's a bit much, isn't it? When we don't even do advertising, who cares?
Well, maybe that could get us a whole lot of new listeners, though.
It would. Well, it would. Apparently, millions, according to him.
Sweet. I want millions
of listeners. But we have got an email off Kurt, and he says, I've not heard of Kurt before. I don't think he's emailed us before, but he may have done.
Hey, for half a Bitcoin, I'll get you to 500,000 listeners.
He said this. He said, the Golf Club 2019 came out this week. Is anyone going to pick it up? If so, I think you need to start a society.
Maybe. I still haven't played the first one.
Yeah, do you know, it's weirdly, I don't think I have either. Played, well, I have, so I'm telling total lies.
Liar.
I played the first one, and I played a bit of the second one, and yeah, I'm probably not going to pick up the third one.
Damn.
I'm done buying games just on the off chance that people are going to get to. Hey, we should buy this game and get together and play this game. And I don't play multiplayer shit, and I end up just buying games that I never bother playing. So I'm out.
It's a risk, and it's more a risk now than it ever has been before because there's so many games out there. It's harder to get people to play the same thing.
I think the trouble is, I've had a look at reviews for the Golf Club 2019, and apparently it ain't that much different from the previous entries.
Well, that's hard to believe because most sports games are wildly different from year to year.
But they've got right the PGA sponsorship this year, so they can use PGA courses properly rather than just user-made ones. But in the PGA calendar. In the PGA calendar, they've got something like 32 courses, and they've got access to 6.
Well,
so they're giving
next
them
time
6
they'll have
courses.
7, and then the time after that they'll have 8.
I'm just like, whatever.
So to answer your question, Fred, no, we're not getting it.
No, it's Kurt.
Right, Kurt, we're not setting up a club. Sorry.
I can play PGA 94 on my RetroPie, and that's all I need.
Yeah, I got my Tiger Woods 2007 on the PS3.
Now you're talking.
Just find me on that and add
we have got a real email. No, not
that was a real email. What are you talking about?
Well, it was a real email, but it was very short.
That's fine. We like short emails. It's like short songs. I like short emails. I like short emails. There you go, Van Ran Man.
Anyway, this is from Jason Gallagher.
Jason.
And he says it's over the top. He says this.
Is this about the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie?
It sounds like it might be.
Yes.
Sounds like it might be. Anyway, once Duke
finally
stated
people are writing in about important things.
Yeah, anyway. Once Duke stated that a game character's boobs were unrealistic and huge. He was frowning upon them as if they were somehow offensive. Personally, my spouse was blessed with naturally huge breasts. They are so big, in fact, that some offended might think they are fake, and it might actually piss them off that some women even have boobs. Dudes. I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, I know what to say to that.
Is that all of it?
No, there's more.
Okay.
That's the lion's share of the argument. The problem is not that I don't remember what he's talking about, but let's just say it's Bayonetta or Lara Croft or whatever. The problem is not that the person has large breasts. The problem is that it's guys making these female characters in such a way that they are sexualized beyond belief and designed in such a way as to provide maximum titillation for the men who play them. Titillation. Thank you, Duchess.
Anyway, he continues. The missing trailer is ridiculous. If that 2D game offends you, how are you possibly even functioning in the real world?
Okay, I think there's some misunderstanding here. I'm not offended by that trailer. I think it's stupid and pathetic. Again, that men, when they're going to make a video game, they say to themselves, okay, look, we have a female character here. Let's put her in a little short skirt and hooker stockings. Yeah, let's do that because it's sexy. That's what's ridiculous. That's not about me being offended. It's just another sad example of guys putting their dick into everything they make.
Wow.
Sorry, that's the way I see it.
I made an apple crumble for tea. I didn't put my dick in it.
No, he didn't.
I'm glad to hear that.
Although
Although the movie American Pie says that's what a guy does. You fuck a pie, right? So.
That's where I let my moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you, I mean, Chris, have you seen this trailer for The Missing?
I did look at it. Because you guys, this is the one you were talking about last week, and it
was.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know what Duke means. I mean, it's designed specifically to get people to, buy it. It's a marketing thing, isn't it? It's like, hey, this, I like side-scrolling platformers, but what do I like more than a side-scrolling platformer? Side-scrolling platformer with tits. It just adds another layer for people to want to go, well, why should I buy this game over and above another side-scrolling platform?
Does it have good gameplay elements? Does it have good writing? Does it have good storytelling?
To be fair, it did look interesting, regardless of the boobs and the legs and the stockings or whatever. It does look interesting.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't look interesting.
I mean, I understand, like Bayonetta, if you like that sort of thing, by all accounts, it's very well made, well designed game, and gameplay wise and story wise. All right, the story's bullshit. Don't try and tell me that's a good stuff.
What do you know?
Hey, look, guys, Night Trap was a remarkable game for the era, right? Full motion video.
That's just come out again.
That was never good.
No, but it did some interesting things that weren't really being done that much with the full motion video at the time. But we all look at that game and go, no, horrible garbage. As we should.
That's because we have real porn now. You can just get anyway. Exactly. You haven't got to play some shitty game to get it.
Yeah, and I hope you might get to see her in the shower scene.
Right.
Anyway, he continues, possibly even functioning in the real world, the one where boobs exist. Please never criticize a sweary game again.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Is that the developer?
Sweary man.
Yeah. By the way,
By
the way, at work I have to eat lunch in a public park daily. At least, like, it makes it sound like he's forced to go to a public park to eat.
Or forced to listen to us while he's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least once a week, someone has shit their pants and puts them in the trash can in the public restroom there. That offends me. But I understand that I live in the real world where actual people shit their pants. Who shits their pants on a daily basis?
I have a dream that someday Jason Gulliher will send us an email that doesn't have any mention of feces in it whatsoever.
It might not be the same person. It's probably not the same person shitting their pants every day, but somebody somewhere is always shitting their pants.
Yes.
I guess. Accept it. Some people have big tits. Some people shit themselves, and Mike Chin will soon bring a child into this disgusting, perverted world. Better get the diapers ready. Cheers to boobs, bathrooms, and sweary 65. Shouts out to the gay guy at the Texas Ranger game last night. As I walked into the bathroom, he let go of his lover's hand to go for a piss, and he didn't stand at the urinal next to mine. Kind of offended me, though. I'm a good-looking guy with an overly sexualized dong. Holy cow.
It's almost as though Jason
Seriously?
Gallagher's id just goes wandering around, and whatever it stumbles upon, he just puts that down on the page. Penis,
got a really
shit in your
well-
pants, penis at the baseball game, gay dude looking at my tits.
He's got an amazing point here. He's making a fantastic point, but we just don't understand what it is. I think
Well,
it's there. I can see it. It's mixed up with this other stuff, and it's there. I'm trying to grasp it. Like
I'm
trying
not
to
saying it's
grab a dream
impossible
when
that
I'm
he has
waking
an
up in the
important
morning.
point to
It's
make.
like-
I'm just saying I can't understand what the hell he's talking about.
What amazes me with Jason is he's very good at describing things. You know, his descriptions are great, but I really have no idea what he's going on about.
Well, isn't one of the
I don't feel
purposes of
clever enough, I
description to
think-
give you a mental picture of what's happening?
It
And if
definitely
we don't,
gives me a mental picture about his overly sexualized dong. You know, it's a good use of adjectives, to be fair.
I think there's a narrative we're not seeing here, and that's the thing. He's the clever one.
that may
And-
be the case. This is too
yeah,
postmodern for me to grasp. Suck it,
That's it.
David Foster Wallace.
Yes, there is a thing called a penis between most men's legs.
Jesus.
In 2D.
Okay, fine. Wait.
I'm all-
Since you bring it up, how often do we see men's dongs in these games? Never.
GTA.
Never.
The Ballad
I've
of Gay
never seen
Tony.
it. I've not seen a minge in the game ever. So
Ever.
that's
Ever. But how many tits do we see in every game?
We've seen a penis in the Ballad of Gay Tony.
See, you're yelling about the one penis we saw 10 years ago.
There has been a penis in something else.
And
but I
yet,
can't remember
how
what it was.
many times do we see women's tits in every
well, we
game?
see tits a lot. But we don't see many fannies, do we?
That's
we
true,
don't
but
see
that's
many fannies.
because men don't have an analogous organ to the tits. There's nothing
Well-
of the man other than the knob and the sausage and the veg.
In
or
my
whatever
game
you
that
call
I'm
it.
playing, my ease game, there's all the women are wearing skimpy things, but they're all covered over. You're not seeing
Yeah,
nipples. or
barely.
anything. And they don't have ridiculous sized tits, but all the blokes.
There was
all
no
ripped.
nipples in the sweary trailer, to be fair.
But again,
Yeah, and
look,
I think if you see quite a lot of topless men as well, like ripped men and topless
yeah,
men.
yeah,
and,
but a
you know,
topless man isn't nearly the same as a topless woman because our society has said seeing a woman with no top on is like, all right. And seeing a man with no shirt on is like, he's Vladimir Putin out for a
I
ride
think
on the
you're wrong,
horse.
Duke. I think a lot of women do look at men with the tops off in a sexual way.
Yes,
That
but
is-
it's not
that
the
is not
same. It's not
untrue.
the male gaze that men have when they look at women with their tops on.
I've seen them watching
female
Poldark.
gaze.
When he comes
Yeah,
out of the scene.
you're wrong, Duke, about that. Women do look at men
I
with-
think he's right. I think he's right.
men
but
with
I
a
think you're
six pack
downplaying-
and the abs and stuff. Women are look.
Yeah, I think that's like Poldark is overly sexualized from a male point of view, and the guys come out in slow motion with dripping wet, like hard nipples in their abs.
With freaking
Right.
oil on the pecs and stuff.
Men can be sexualized, of course,
But
but
it
it's
is
not
diff- but it's
nearly the
different. Yeah, you're
same
right.
level as it is with women. Because, like, when a guy goes out into battle, he's wearing armor that, like, will protect him from swords trying to cut him up. When a woman goes out into battle in these games, she's wearing some bikini hair suit that mostly is designed to make her look sexy.
Yeah, they have sort of peephole sections in the middle, which is like
Right. That makes no
clearly-
sense.
clearly
If
an
you're
arrow
going
is
into
gonna
the
go
same
straight through that
sword
hole.
battle as this dude with the full plate armor, why would you not want to be as covered as he is? Because I want to be sexy.
Yeah, that is
Anyway,
hard
moving
to
on.
argue. Anyway, finishing off on Jason's email, he says, in 2D, I'm almost sure that Duke and Chin's favourite devs would immensely overstate the sexiness of their character's cock. Just like Mike. Always drawing a big dick whenever he can. But let's make no mistake about it, the missing will be ace. I do think it looks like an interesting game, so I'm not going to disagree with him there.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
I'm sure I will.
I hope there's
I'm
plenty of
sure.
cocks in there for you.
There probably will be. There'll be lots of cock. And that's it for emails this week. That's it. So we have got a speak pipe to do, and then it's get out of here. Let's hear
Speak pipe, it's the way to leave a message
it's
for
crap.
us.
All right, so this speak pipe comes from Derek Signs. God bless Derek Signs. He's always got a speak pipe for us, rain or shine. And today, as noted, it's rainy here. Although the rain seems to be like letting up. It's pretty light out again all of a sudden. So here we go.
Safe.
Hey, Veteran Gamers, it's Derek Sains back again, and I was almost tempted this week to buy the digital deluxe version of Detroit to Become Human, which is on sale on the PSN store.
Don't do it.
And with the deluxe version, you get a digital soundtrack, a digital art book, but you also get a digital download of Heavy Rain.
Oh, God.
So I'm sure Duke will be interested in that. And it got me thinking about how machines or technology is running some of our lives, not all of it, thankfully for now. And I was thinking, if you had a humanoid robot or android, a bit like in Detroit Become Human, would you let it run part of your life? Things like taking out the rubbish or the trash, or walking the dog, washing the dishes, mowing the lawn, watching your kids? Or would there always be that little bit of fear in the back of your mind, thinking, what if something goes terribly wrong? A bit like Westworld or Terminator, that sort of thing. And so that's it. Question for this week. Would you let a humanoid android, robot, whatever you want to call them, run part of your life for you? And that's it for now. So until next time, I just say, keep on gaming.
The humans are dead. Once again, without emotion, the humans are dead.
Yes, that's a beautiful ending. Well, I will start by saying that, first of all, John Mulaney has a great bit about this in his Kid Gorgeous at Radio City Music Hall special, where he says, you spend a lot of your day telling robots that you're not a robot in order to see your stuff. And that's just ridiculous. He does voices, and you got to check it out. John Mulaney is one of my favorite comedians of all time now. Anyway, Futurama, of course, also talked about this. Bender was really mad. They were at a Blurns ball game, and he goes, and look at this. And he throws a bottle on the ground, and this little robot comes out to clean it up. And he goes, look who's cleaning up the filth. Is it a human child? I wish. It's a little robot. Because robots do handle a lot of things for us already. For instance, I don't know anybody who looks at maps when they're driving anymore. We have robots telling us that. We have robots telling us where to go. And when we get to an intersection, a lot of times it's a robot that tells us when we get to go at the intersection. We call them stoplights. But for decades, we've obeyed these robots with the lights.
You see, interestingly, you know, when you're talking about Google Maps is what you're referring to.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Google Maps is, and you know, I didn't know this till recently because
this better not be about geocaching.
No, because I'm a bit stupid and don't look things up. But you know, it's really cool how it estimates how long it's going to take you to get somewhere.
Of course.
And then it keeps changing all the time.
Well, yeah, but the reason what it does is, though, it takes every person that's ever done that journey, crunches all that shit up, and then comes up with a number. So it goes, all these millions of people who've done this exact same journey as you, at this exact same time of the day, this is how long it took them to do it. So this is the average of that, and that's how long it's going to take.
I thought it was more like anyone that's using Google. Like, say I get onto the same roundabout every morning, and and sometimes it's busy there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it says it's red, and like, oh, I know it's going to be busy. I think it takes live data from people that have gone past in the last sort of hour.
So it does that as well, but it also takes sort of historicals. And here's the other thing that you may or may not be aware of. But if you have an Android phone and you have your sort of location stuff set up, it tracks what you do every single day, and you can look back on that history. So you can look what you were doing a year ago on whatever date, and it'll tell you where you went that day from the moment you got up till the moment you went to sleep at night.
Oh, thank God. I want to know where I was earlier today, because I don't remember.
This is fascinating, but we're really not answering his question, are we?
Yeah, no, we're not. But Google knows all that shit. I mean, like, Google knows where you go every day.
But would you let Google look after your children or mow the lawn?
No, what that fucker's like. I mean, Jesus Christ, I've seen humans. That's asking for trouble.
Well, here's the thing. I think that we're going to reach a point eventually, and I think we're going to have to fast forward somehow to get to this point, where robots have a sentient identity every bit as valid as a human's.
Whoa, man, we've watched Terminator. You know how that shit goes down.
Well, we're going to make them self-aware. They're going to become self-aware at some point. So the question is, do we give them the dignity that we give humans, such as it is? Not that we give most humans much dignity, but, you know. Or are we going to make them slaves? Because you see what happens in the Matrix. When you make them slaves, they rise up and black out the sun.
Well,
I guess we blacked out the sun.
Beyond Human. I think you've basically just... That's why you need to play Detroit, because
yeah, Getting into these same questions, man.
This ground's been trodden so many times.
Yeah, it really has.
And let's be honest, right?
We're not necessarily talking about what.
Personally speaking, I would. Yes, I would.
Not with the morals of actually doing it. Just should we be getting something to do this when they're sentient? But would you?
And again,
from a safety point of view,
no. Hang on a second. I would point out that we all do this. If you have a dishwashing machine, you have a robot washing your dishes.
Yeah, but it's not sentient, is it? That dishwasher's is not self-aware.
Mine does. It always says, right, that fucking spoon there. I don't like
that spoon. Is not...
Why are you such pigs? Why don't you eat more of this food? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Clean out this fucking rice every now and then, you dirty cunt.
Yeah. Sorry, but that's the thing is I think it's just a natural thing. I think as the technology becomes more available, as it becomes cheaper.
Yeah, but are we ever going to get to a point where an AI or a created AI by humans is going to be classed as sentient? Are we ever? I mean, I know there's a lot of fiction that.
Are you talking about like the movie Her?
Yeah,
anything like that. Are we really going to get to a point where something that's created by humans can be classed as sentient?
Well, they're not going to sell it to us and then tell us, oh yeah, this is the sentient version. You want to buy this one?
You got the ZX model. That's the sentient one.
Because then it comes.
Now you're being cruel.
It comes down to a much more fundamental question of what makes a human self-aware and sentient, you know what I mean? And is that going to be the same thing for something that's really a computer chip doing stuff?
Right. And that is the question. My point is, I think it's inevitable. I think that we're going to, we go along with the tech. Google Glass is the only example of tech I've ever seen in my life that I can think of that was halted. But it's going to come back. I mean, you know that's going to happen again.
And by the time a Roomba can give you a blowjob, you know, I'm going to be way dead.
Roomba. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Well, that's the dark, nasty part of it. But
I just don't think, you know, and I'm probably being a bit cynical, but I just don't think that we're ever going to get to a point where something that's run by a computer chip could ever be classed as sentient, really, you know, and sort of self-aware. You know, no matter how good an imitation of that thing it does, I don't think it's going to be. It isn't going to be self-aware.
Well,
I just
the
don't
question
think it's
then
possible.
is, how do you know?
Well, you don't, but I just don't think it's possible. I think that they could program a computer to be sort of a good imitation of that, but I still don't think it would be that.
Well, that's fine, but I think the distinction is going to become meaningless.
Yeah, but then.
So it won't matter that the robot's not self-aware. The point is, you're going to get to be friends with Alexa once it's specifically designed for you, because it's gonna love your stories.
Oh,
Stu,
did you watch that
wouldn't
film
you love to hear somebody who, as soon as you tell a joke, it goes, "Oh, that's brilliant," instead of what we usually say, which is, "Stu, you're not going to tell that same joke again." Jesus Christ, shut up.
Yeah, but to be fair to Alexa, right? I would never ever class that as anywhere near like an AI self-aware thing.
Not
literally
yet.
Is. Alexa's
not yet.
Long way off,
but Stu, in 20 years...
Play me some music, Alexa.
Yeah, did you guys see Her?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great example.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to be in 20 years.
They're going to customize these robots to talk to us and convince us that they're, you know... And then,
Stu, you can talk about how stupid Alexa is, but how many... Bongo has 6 of them in his house.
He does. No, it is true. I have 2.
See, you're complaining about it, and you've already bought 2.
I don't complain about it, but I don't look at Alexa as being
it's going to be everywhere.
Who's got her own mind and can do whatever she wants.
Not yet.
She's going to order you a very specific brand of Coca-Cola. When you ask for it to buy you Coke, it's going to get you
exactly.
Whatever
if you love the way the McDonald's down the block makes the proportion of soda water versus syrup and a little bit of, you know, whatever. Yeah, Alexa's gonna find that chemical composition and get it exactly the way you like. You're gonna have your home coming home the temperature just as you like it. And maybe if you've had a hard day, she'll know. Let's make it a little cooler because he likes it better when it's cool. And you won't even know you want it, but she will have done it for you.
But that doesn't make her a sentient being, though, does it?
That's but then when you come in, you'll go
habits and behaviors.
You're right, but Stu, when you come in, she'll go, "Welcome home, Stu," and you'll go, "Why is it cold in here?" And she'll go, "I thought you could use a slightly chillier atmosphere because it seems like you had a hard day." And you'll go, yeah, it was a hard day. Let me tell you, the people at my work, oh God, such a
I
pain
wish
in
you'd
the
do
ass.
that. That'd be kind of cool.
See,
Yeah, the
you're
Blade
gonna
Runner
love it.
2064, that was great. I want one of those sort of hologram ones, but I don't really want like a full-on Android robot that could snap my neck at the drop of a hat just when it's
Well,
it's programming
that's,
it wrong.
that's where
You can give
Isaac
me a head massage
right.
and it's just sort of
But that's where Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics come in.
Oh, is it 3 laws? I know there's
Yes.
so many laws.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
fine. 3 laws, it's fine.
Right.
The fourth
And
law's
that's-
classified, right?
Well, that was
That's
RoboCop.
right.
Ka-ching. But that, I mean, and those are good questions. And that's why I think we should never have robots that can inflict harm on a person. Like, military robots, automated military robots. Absolutely not. Killer robots on the battlefield? No. I mean, I'm opposed to these drones that we're sending over Pakistan bombing people.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think the trouble is once you get to that sort of stage, and if that does ever happen, there's no conscience, is there? There's no human
exactly.
interaction or emotion into
Right.
that. It's literally just it doesn't matter anymore.
Of course. Target notified, target found, destroy target.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
like
tell you who's probably got a
RoboCop.
really
The
good
Ed
insight on
309,
this.
man.
It
You
is,
have 30 seconds to comply.
That's it. But I tell you, who's probably got a really good insight on all of this and would be able to teach us a thing or two, and that's David Cage. I think he would be able to.
Oh, David,
He could teach us a thing or two. He's probably had these conversations.
Chris,
and he's
you
gonna-
win the
he's gonna blow
award
the
for
shit out
best
of it.
ending to this discussion ever.
There you go. Job
It's
done.
time for a shout out.
It
Hey!
is time for a shout. Bloody hell! I'll tell you what, Duke is like moving this thing along, and
I
he's
am
keeping on
moving
track.
along.
I like
'Cause
it. I like
that's
it.
a perfect place for us to move on. We've said what we need to say.
It is.
Let's keep
It
going.
is.
Great. I like it.
I'm going to start off tonight because
ahead.
I'm going to shout out, first of all, Chris for helping us out, of course.
Hooray!
Filling in Chinny's very large size 12 shoes.
Yeah, I'm size 11, so there's like just one that I'm
Size
not filling.
11?
I've no idea, actually. I just made that up. He might not even be a size 12, but he's,
Well,
he's
I
6
wear a
foot
size
4,
12.
so he's going to have pretty big feet, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can go to a party as a petrol pump.
He could. He could. So thank you for that, Chris. Also, obviously, going to shout out Chinny and his lovely new wife, although he's lived with her for a long time and been together with her for a long time, Tahara.
Does anyone know if she changed her name?
Yes, she has. She is Tahara
Oh, she's
Chin.
Tara Chin now, huh? How about that?
Yeah, the chins.
Damn.
The double chin. So big shout out to them, and obviously on the honeymoon, and I'm almost sure it's either today or tomorrow. They're meeting Greg, so that's fairly early in the week.
let's
So they're
shout out
meeting
Greg.
the very famous Greg DeLacy from the Overseas Connections.
Greg
So
DeLacy.
so I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Chinny has taken his drone, and he's going to be obviously doing a lot of filming on his honeymoon.
So that's the first
So
shot
that's-
we're going to see of Greg is from above, 2 miles up.
Yeah, probably. With his fancy old drone and whatnot.
Look at the top of his head.
There you go. And that's it for me. So it's just mainly a shout out to Chinny and whatnot, and obviously Chris for coming on and helping us out. So that's me. Over to you, Chris.
I would also like to say congratulations to Chinny. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice one, mate. Hope you have a really good time away. And thank you for letting me fill your shoes. I will have a piss in them before I leave.
Good.
I would shout out Rob and Pilch over at Bosswave because I got to shout out the show. Yeah, if you want a shittier version of this show, go and check out our show. It's called the Bosswave Podcast.
Boss.
Bosswave. I would like to thank you guys for having me on. Very kind of you to invite me. And also, Ozark Season 2's out this week. So
What?
I've
Is that any
started
good?
watching that. Ozark. Yeah, first
Okay,
season is awesome.
fill
I've
this
not
in.
watched the second.
If you like blank, you'll like Ozark.
If you like Breaking Bad, then you'll like Ozark.
Okay.
It's
Ozark.
like Ozark, yeah. It's on
How's it
Netflix.
spelled? How do you spell it?
It's in the show notes.
O-Z-A-R-K.
Ozark.
O-Z-A-R.
It's money laundering and.
I have heard of
There's
this.
It's cool.
Although somebody at work told me about a film that she said I definitely need to see because it's hilarious, called Tag. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I heard about that. That sounded stupid.
It's basically these 3 guys.
It's based on a
who-
true story.
It is a true story, but it's basically about these 3 guys who didn't want to lose their friendship, so decided to play a game of tag for 30 odd years or something.
And they like get together every year and like play this game for a weekend.
Yeah, play tag.
And like you've seen the Monty Python sketch where they do the hide and seek world champion. Like that's kind of what they're doing, but in real life with tag. It's so
it's
weird.
It's the same lot of people that are out of the Hangovers and stuff like that. It's got 54 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to avoid it like the plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not as good as she said, but she thought it was hilarious.
Do you
so,
trust the source?
you know.
Does she have good taste in movies?
Yeah, I might give it a
Jeremy
go.
Renner. John Hamm's good.
Yeah, John Hamm's good. I like him, but I don't know. It doesn't look like my cup of tea. But we did watch The Florida Project this weekend. Oh my God, that movie's awesome. It's it's called The Florida Project. It's about this hotel right on the edge of the Disney World area. And it's got some people living in it who are like, that's their home. They're almost homeless. And some of them work in like minimum wage restaurant jobs. Some of them are working in underground illegal activities. It's just but it's from this kid's point of view, growing up in this hotel. And it's one summer in the kid's life. It's just very well done. It's very sad, but it's really powerful. So
That's got 96 on Rotten Tomatoes. That sounds very good.
Amazing.
And it's also got everyone's favourite William Dafoe in it.
William Dafoe, man. He's the man.
Willem.
And he is really good at it.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
any other shout-outs, Chris?
Because Chinny always says William.
Right. Chris, any other shout-outs?
I see what you were doing there.
Chris, any other shout-outs?
No.
Okay. I will shout out Chris. Thank you for coming on. I will shout out Chinny. Thank you for getting married. I will shout out Tara. Welcome to Chinny's weird family. I will shout out the Duchess because she set up the fan and brought me a fruit pie. And I will shout out my dog. And I will shout out Stu and Chris. I already shouted out Chris. I will shout out Antonio because we're going to have some Rocket League soon. And I will shout out the VAC Vegas team once again. What? And yeah, that's it. We done?
There you go. I think we're done.
EGX. Tell people
to go to EGX. What about
if
EGX?
You like this podcast.
EGX. Oh, and Chrissy's wife's special biscuits.
Oh yeah, I better get a
you better get a bloody bacon, mate. What is the matter with you?
But they'll be minging by then if she can make some now.
They'll be matured. They'll be matured by then. It's only 3 weeks. What's the matter with you? It's fine.
It's a good point, though.
It is.
Well made.
EGX, talk about it.
Come and join us.
There's nothing else to say.
If you're in anywhere near us in Great Britain somewhere, come and visit us. Say hi.
Yeah.
This year, EGX is going to be on what dates?
21st we'll be going.
Of September.
21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Of September.
Of September, yes.
Not everybody just psychically knows which month you're talking about.
Yeah, Saturday's the best day because we just do stupid stuff all day.
And what city is it going to be in?
Birmingham.
There you go, people. Go make
Alabama.
it happen. Yeah.
And you get free energy drinks so you can run around like a lunatic.
No, they were really stingy last year. You had to go and play Destiny or something to get them, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to go and actually buy them, which got me on this. I don't want to talk about it, but I drink those things now. I never used to.
You're joking.
Did you say Amar is coming this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amar is coming. I'll get to meet Amar.
Is he the furthest traveler that we know of?
No, I guess it's probably between him and Bongo because
anybody
it's
coming
probably
from the
a similar
continent?
distance.
It's pretty close.
Anybody coming from France or Germany or Greece or Afghanistan? Who? I'm just asking if you know of anybody from the continent.
I have no clue, but I'm sure people do that. I'm sure there are people.
You should make friends with one of them and be like, "Look, we met someone from Greece. They're part of the."
We met someone from Hong Kong.
There you go, Chris Ho.
If you like this podcast, there is another site you should check out, which is called VGHub.net, and on there you find a bunch of links to other video game podcasts. Similar in vein to ours, but different in the way they're delivered. Some have all kinds of sound effects.
Are for old people.
Some talk about RPGs.
Some people say.
Come on now.
Some might say that.
No one says that.
Then of course you have links to great forums.
You don't have any other friends.
So check it out. VGHub.net. It is a great starting point for your podcast discovery.
Chinny, you're not here to stop me.
Outro song. The end of the show, you fucking pricks. Turn the podcast off. Oh, wait, you don't need to do that.
You know what Chinny loves the most is two songs played over each other.
Little fluffy cloud. Fluffy cloud.
Why not 3 songs? Think about the predicament you went through.
Who your name on?
I just fell on my bottom into some butterscotch.
Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes. Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancakes. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
Well, the cat's away. Sound effects will play.
Will play.
Oh my goodness, that was the worst. I could just see Chinny like bursting a brain vessel in his forehead. Fucking stop!
I've just seen Amras is playing this new game that's come out called Scum.
Ooh, Scum. Yeah, no, I have seen about that. You know why? Because Devolver spammed my Twitter feed with ads, and I was like, I'm not clicking on that ad, but I will go to Steam and look it up there. And I looked at it, I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of interesting. So, Amar, write in or send a speak pipe and tell us how much you like it.
No, it's Amras.
Amras, sorry. Yes, tell us how much you like it. Talk about it on your show.
Yeah, it does look kind of interesting.
It looks kind of like exhausting. That's the thing about it, because it's like it's trying to be PUBG, it's trying to be Rust, it's trying to be DayZ. Yeah. But whatever, that's the way these go.
They've already courted controversy because one of the tattoos available was a swastika.
Oh Christ! Well, see, why would you put that in the game? Like, come on.
No idea. But this is a description that would put me right off straight away. Is
crafting.
Scum is the next generation story-driven survival game featuring extremely complex game mechanics. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
Well, that's
Brilliant.
the thing. I mean, if they just said crafting and fighting, I'd be like, yes. But then they talk about they showed in the trailer. I watched like a 2-minute trailer, and it was like all these different layers of things you had to put together and all the stuff you're supposed to gather from all over. I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing all that. I get exhausted trying to find sheep in Minecraft in order to get wool.
Exactly. Screw it.
Yeah.
Who wants extremely complicated game mechanics?
Well,
Not me.
apparently some people do. Amras is happy to do it.
Bland and boring. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Straightforward and simple.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I like.
You put the 3 sticks like this, and you have a bow. There you go.
Yeah, don't give me none of this extremely complicated bullshit.
Yeah, take your
I don't
game
know how
and
this
shove
shit
it.
is. Why am I doing this? I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Right, on that note, I think we're done.
And that's the show.
There it is.
Stop recording. Anything you want to say to the stream before we cut it off?
Bye-bye, stream.
I've got one more thing to say to the stream.
F*** yourself.